Annoyed with me yet? I thought that I was gonna go on live on Instagram, but I was like, wait, I've made some pretty cool YouTube friends, so I thought I would go live on here and chat with you guys while I cut out the rest of my foundations for the color quilt. I have quite a bit of cutting to do. And then, I don't know, maybe I'll film a video for this week. We shall see. Better have my trash can handy because I got a lot of paper scraps. So I just have to cut all of these out. Hi Sandra. Hi Nancy. I got the first half of my color wheel quilt done. If you guys want me to show you, I'll go grab it. And before I can sew the rest of the quilt, I have to cut out all of these for the other half. So I have quite a bit of cutting. So I thought I'd come on here and talk to you guys tonight. I should say you ladies. Let me go grab it. It looks so good. It's huge. It's so big. And I brought my moon medallion quilt down here so I could wrap up with it. So that's down here with me. I'm going to grab my color wheel quilt. Alright. This is what I have so far. I kind of like have to stand up. It's so big. Let me see if I can stand on a chair. I don't have any hot tools or anything. Here we go. It's so large. So this is what I have so far. So I have to cut out all of the other foundations. Woo! I didn't get hurt. Woo! I have to cut out all the rest of the foundations for the other half. So I'm glad you guys are here to keep me company. Thank you. I'm so happy with how it's turning out. I feel like it's such a cheerful quilt. Like whenever, I mean, any quilt's cheerful. Whenever you have a quilt finished and you get to the point of like cuddling up with it, it just makes you so happy. But this one, with how colorful it is and how bright it is, there's no way you can't be wrapped up with this quilt and not be just like super happy. I love it. I'm really excited to see what the other testers do with their versions too, because the mock-ups that they sent in the group chat are just stunning. So I'll see if I have permission to share their versions once they complete them on here with you guys, because I know they're gonna just blow it out of the water. It's gonna be so pretty what they have in store for their versions. I almost thought it'd be cool to do it like all black, and then in the optional pieces that have the white fabric that I chose, doing the neon colors. So doing like either black to gray, like a full gradient all the way around, and then doing neon colors going in the rainbow order in those optional pieces. It's just like a fleck of color. I thought that'd be really cool. But there's just so many things you can do with this pattern. Wow, I remember when I could do that climbing up and down out of a chair, lol. Now, oh, it hurts so bad. Oh man. Hi, quilters and sewers. Hi, Sandra. I made a color wheel quilt with a Lone Star. Oh, I would love to see that. I would really love to see that. The quilt looks awesome. Thank you. I'm trying to think of a way that you can message it to me. I love looking at other quilts. Are you part of the Sew Becca Discord chat? She just opened a Discord, and it's like an app, and you can talk in there without sharing like personal information, and you can send pictures, and there's like a chat room in there. So you can do like audio while you're sewing if you want to talk to people back and forth, kind of like a walkie-talkie. Hi, how are you doing tonight? I have so many things to cut. I'm cutting out half of that color wheel quilt worth of foundation papers. And this took like almost a whole package of the Dokes paper. It was so much. When I started printing it, I was like, oh my gosh, it's not stopping. I'm not techie. I'm not either. I don't even know. I remember me and my husband used to play Pokemon Go, and people use Discord for that as like a way to communicate, and I just never really understood it. But my husband and my brother-in-law are very techie, so I just rely on them to do all the figuring out of things for me. What are you ladies doing tonight? What are you working on? Are you sewing? Are you relaxing? What's on your to-do list? Are we excited that it's Thursday tomorrow, almost to the weekend? Any fun plans for the weekend? We are taking the kids to my husband's friend's house. I guess they used to play basketball together a lot growing up, and they reached out and asked if we wanted to go out there. So it's in Topeka, which is about an hour away from where we are in Kansas. So we're going to take the 3 kids up there, and they're going to play basketball and placemats for Meals on Wheels. Oh, that's amazing. I love that. What kind of colors are you using? I wish there was a way you guys could send pictures in the comments, because I would love to see all the things that you guys are working on too. I love looking at that kind of stuff. Is this your first time making placemats for Meal on Wheels? Or have you done this for a while? I've never thought of that. My husband's Meemaw has Meals on Wheels. She's in St. Louis and an assisted living. I mean, it's an independent living, but she can't drive or anything, so it's nice to have food delivered. I've got my baby quilt sandwiched. Now I'm making up my mind on how to FMQ it. Ooh, that's going to be so cute. Baby quilts are like my favorite thing to make. Baby quilts and kid quilts. I just love how you can take a theme and you can run with it. And they're just so much fun. And they're smaller. I like the more manageable size of quilts. I think I've done like 1 king size quilt, never again. And I sent it to a long arm, so that's cheating. There was no way that I could quilt it on this thing without a lot of swearing and possibly some injuries, because it was huge. It was so big. I made a very large cross quilt for Meemaw's friend, and it was huge. I altered a pattern from Quilt Box on Etsy, so if you're interested in seeing that, I've made that quilt 3 times now. I made one for my grandmother, and then I made it for our old neighbor. She wanted one for her mother who was on dialysis, and then Meemaw, she wanted me to make it again, but she wanted it king size, so I altered it and just put some big chunky cornerstones on it, and it turned out beautiful. But each time I try to make it different so that each quilt kind of had its own thing going on. I wanted each of them to be unique. But my grandmother's turned out so well. And it's so funny because she made me quilts growing up. And now that I've been quilting, I embroidered her a cardinal, so she's got that hanging up in her house. And then, because she lives in Arizona, so she doesn't live near us. We're in Kansas. But she has a cardinal that I embroidered her. She has that cross quilt that I made for her. And then I believe I sent her something recently. I think it was, I made her an applique desert scene, like a little wall hanging. So it's really cool that I'm able to make her things now and send things her way and surprise her. I never really let her know. what's coming. I just like to send it, and then I get a text from her, oh, I just got the most pleasant surprise in the mail. But I look up to her in quilting, so it's really cool that now she has things that I've made for her. I just think it's so cool. Oh yes, I got to see my grandson for the first time today in an ultrasound picture. Congratulations, Nancy. That's so exciting. Oh my goodness, that's such a good feeling. Is this your first grandson? That is so special. We have 3 kids, so I'm hoping that when they get older, they have a ton of kids, because I want a giant family. I don't want to, like, you know, I don't want to be alone. I want to have a ton of little babies to snuggle, and I'll be that annoying mother-in-law, I'm sure, that's like, do you want me to hold them? Do you want me to hold them? I'll hold them. I'll hold them. But honestly, that's not annoying. I think that's very helpful. We lived with my mother-in-law and my father-in-law when we were pregnant and had our first baby. And I swear, like, the best part of the days were when my mother-in-law would be like, I'll hold him, you go take a shower, you go take care of yourself. That was just like a blessing, because babies, they're so cute, and being a mother is amazing, but it's a lot of work, and I feel like you got hit by a train at the very beginning. So many unexpected changes and exhaustion. It's like literally survival mode. So I hope to be a very involved grandma when the time comes. And I want a lot of grandbabies. I'm never going to be like, oh, you have too many kids. I'm going to be like, are you sure? Are you done? Are you guys going to have any more? It's funny because my mother-in-law, we have 3 kids, and they weren't too sure about having 3 when we were kind of like tossing it back and forth, the idea of it. And then now, where we're like 99.99999% sure that we're not going to have any more, my husband is. I could have another one. But she's like, are you sure you guys could try to have another boy? I mean, you can't really try to have certain gender, I get that. But she's like, you could try and maybe you'd have another boy. Because she's really, really close with our son. I don't know if it's just because he's a boy and she had 2 boys, or if he's the first grandchild on their side, but whenever she says that, I'm like, can you say that a little bit louder? I don't know if Austin heard that. Yes, in one way, the other 2 are adopted. That's so sweet. I love that. Hello, everyone. Hi. How are you guys doing tonight? I'm just doing a lot of cutting, and I didn't want to do it alone, so I was hoping that some of you ladies would be on here tonight to talk to. We've got a baby quilt and some placemats for Meal on Wheels being worked on tonight. Again, I wish we could share in the chat like pictures of what we're working on. Hey Courtney, how are you doing tonight? Are you working on anything? I am cutting out my templates for the other half of my color wheel quilt. I was able to piece together the other segments that I had to like run away from last night when Louise started crying. Austin took Louise and Zoe to the store, and I asked Addington, I was like, do you want to go with them to the store, or do you want to stay with Mom while she sews? And he goes, I want to stay with Mom. So I thought that was really cute, because usually they just jump at the chance to go out. I'm doing okay and watching Blue Bloods with my hubby. Aww. I haven't watched that show. Is that the one with Jennifer Lopez? It's a cop show, isn't it? I used to do this part with my rotary cutter, but it almost was taking longer, and especially on some of these pages, the templates are so close to each other that it just creates extra work to get them out. So I've just started to use my scissors again for this portion. And I don't mind it. It's actually pretty fun, I think, to cut these out. It's kind of relaxing. Hi, Melissa. How are you doing tonight? I was so happy to catch your live today. I had a lot of fun chatting with you today, this morning. Hi. How are you doing tonight? What are you guys working on? Melissa, do you have anything in the works? I hope I don't say your name wrong. Delia, are you working on anything tonight? I started to go live again tonight, then saw that Stephanie that were on. I saw that too. Did you see their announcement? I saw that you're in the chat. How fun is that? I really hope that they come to Kansas City. I'm kind of jealous that Sean is going to be able to go because he's like right up there, close to one of their first retreats is like together. I free motion quilt my dress and quilt. Oh, I can't wait to see that. What'd you do? What designs did you do? No, and you said it good. I hope I don't ever say names wrong. That makes me feel really bad. I am working on cutting out. I'll go grab the quilt again. I finally got to the halfway mark, and Nancy's gonna laugh because I'm gonna climb back up on that chair. But I have to get up on the chair because it's so large to show you. So, but there's no irons or any sharp things near here for me to fall on, knock on wood. I did it once, I should be able to do it again, but I'll go get the quilt. I am cutting out all of the templates for the other half. I only cut out half at a time, so let me grab it. All right, here we go, guys. All right. Whee! All right, here is what I've got so far. Let me wiggle my mouse. Here's what I have so far. So I'm going to make another half and then plop it together, and then I'm going to be all done. So this is called the Color Wheel Quilt, and it is a test quilt for quarter life leaf. It's a test quilt for Quarter Life Leap on Instagram. So if you're interested in the pattern, she should be releasing it by the end of the month, and it's really cool. You can do a lot with it. Last night when I was on live, someone said that it looked like palm fronds, so you could do it like in green, and I've seen a lot of really cool mock-ups in the test group chat. I'm a beginner FMQ, tried some feathers and swirls. Oh, that's gonna look really good. I love feathers. Feathers, swirls, swirl flowers, and pebbles are my favorite. Don't stand on a chair, please. That's beautiful now. Get down, LOL. Hey, I made it. So that's the second time. 3 times a charm. Hopefully, the next time someone asks what I'm working on, I'll just stand and do it. I won't test fate a third time. Hubby is editing my Your Wallet video, and I'm over listening to myself. Yeah, I'm the same way. I hate like my voice and recordings. I'm like, yikes. Do I really sound like that? It's always funny because I edit my videos, and every time I need to make like a very large blooper reel, because every single time that I mess up talking when I'm recording, I go bloop every single time. And so it's kind of like At first I was like, well, that's embarrassing. I'm gonna have to edit that out. But now it's like a good marker because every single time that I mess up talking and I do that, I know exactly where to edit, you know? So I'm kind of glad that I'm kind of a spaz and go every time. Maybe that's because I do that in real life if I mess up. I hate my voice because I can't hear well enough to hear my own voice. Oh, Courtney, your voice is nice. I like your voice. Melissa says, I was trying to edit mine and the video editor kept cutting the video to match the title card and title card length. Hi, Courtney. Short Hubby is the one you recommended downloaded. The DaVinci, the Black Magic one, I still haven't looked into it. Austin has offered to edit my videos at the very beginning, but I was determined to like figure it out. I'm really stubborn. So when I don't understand something or I'm like challenged, and that is literally anything to do with technology with me, I'm just like, I persist. So like the first video was kind of rough, but I feel like I've gotten a little bit better and I've found like what I like to do. But sometimes the uploading process is insane. It takes forever. Courtney, oh, here we go. Let me go up a little bit more. Scraps, 2.5-inch squares. Oh no, I've done these for a few years and I also use orphan blocks. Oh, that's awesome. I might have some orphan blocks that I can send your way maybe if you're interested in that. I would love to contribute to that because it's Meal on Wheels has helped a lot of people, but we've had a little bit of experience with Meemaw and being able to get her food. Courtney, I like your voice. You sound fine. She's right. Your voice sounds great. Pro show producer. I enjoy it. Is it free? Beth sounds like she's a teenager. Thank you. Thank you all. Sound, not wound. My poor hubby does not sew wallets. I'm sure he is absolutely bored. I uploaded a 2-minute video this morning. It took 3 hours. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, the video that I uploaded for last week, I started it after naps. So before naps, I downloaded it to my hard drive because I don't save it to my computer anymore. I learned the hard way because I ran out of memory one time and iMovie was not working. So my husband got like a hard drive to like move all my videos and stuff from my camera to there, and then from there I move it to iMovie, and then after iMovie, when I'm done editing and I have like the final video, then I move it back to the hard drive and then upload it from the hard drive. But to download it from the iMovie to the hard drive takes about an hour, maybe 30 minutes. But to upload it from the hard drive to the YouTube takes like 4 hours. It's insane. And if I don't do it at night when I'm like going to sleep, it drives me insane because I am that person that will just check. Like I can watch paint dry and I will, like, instead of walking away and not coming back for hours, I'm the one that like goes back every 5 minutes to see if there's any progress. And it drives me absolutely bonkers. I'm telling you. It's only oh no, it isn't free. It's only $35 a year. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. Not chatting, but watching and listening in tub with glass of wine. Oh, that sounds very relaxing. We need to switch spots. That sounds very nice. I took a shower tonight and I feel super, super good. Showers are hard to come by these days with 3 kiddos. I was gonna take one this morning. I was actually gonna take one last night after our live, but if you were on the live last night, you knew that I had to run off because I wanted milk, so I had to go feed her and put her back down. Hi Shirley, I wish I was sitting in a hot bath myself. True that. I need to go do that. That sounds so relaxing. Shirley, I watch YouTube with wine in the bath too. LOL, multitasking. That's hilarious. That's such a good idea though. Melissa, then it's not pro show producer unless they changed. I got cornbread today. Oh, I love cornbread. There's a song that I was listening to the other day, and I was gonna make a reel on Instagram for it and like make it sewing related. But it's like, we got macaroni and cheese, collard greens, chicken inside. Don't forget the cornbread. Cornbread's good. I love cornbread with a bunch of butter. Do you like the sweet cornbread? Because there's like two ways to make it. My in-laws really like making it like the sugary way. And then there's like more of a savory way where it's not like super sugary. They're both good, but what kind do you prefer? Now I want cornbread and a bunch of butter. And a glass of wine and a warm bath. Man, this is getting lengthy. Cornbread sounds so yummy. Have you had any more chicks hatch today, Melissa? I brought my quilt down here. Let's see. I brought my moon medallion quilt down here to cuddle with me since I was cutting. I figured it wouldn't get in the way. But I've been wearing it in a little bit so it gets softer. But I'm obsessed with this quilt. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I'm pretty sure I've made like 1,000 reels about this quilt. Mostly because I just want to help the designer out. She's actually a good friend of mine, and she just released the pattern. And I feel like on Instagram you have to make reels to like get seen. So I have like a video of me jumping on the trampoline with it. Like I'm trying real hard to get this video out there. I'm down to only one pain bill today. That's awesome. Hopefully you can get down to 0 and get some relief from your pain. That's pretty. I didn't hear the question you asked though. Which way do you prefer your cornbread? Because I know you can make like cornbread really sugary, and then there's like savory cornbread. Excellent. Yes, I follow you on Instagram. I love Instagram. It's a lot of fun. I have some silly videos on there. I try to make helpful ones too, but I just really like watching silly, funny ones. So maybe I need to do better at making a balance, but some of the audios that come up for videos on Instagram are just hilarious. Like there's no way I could pass up on making a fool of myself on there. I like a little sweet and not super sweet. That's how I like it. With a ton of butter. A ton. Which probably isn't super healthy for me, but I don't care. If you're eating cornbread, you're eating comfort food along with it, so you might as well have some extra butter. I like cornbread and milk, and I like it with beans, but not both together. Ooh, with beans is really good. I'm trying to think of like when we usually have it. We have like a whole like giant box of it's a certain restaurant down here in Kansas. I don't know if they have them elsewhere, but it's a barbecue restaurant out here. And they have like their own cornbread mix. So we have like a 5-pound box of that my in-laws got us for Christmas because we love cornbread. I like it with barbecue. I made my own reel. I think 5 people watched it, LOL. That's just like one of the frustrating parts of Instagram. Like it's turned into, and I'm not bagging on it, I really do enjoy it still, but I started just sharing photos, and I never really thought that I would start making reels. I was like, well, I'm not really good at making videos and stuff like that. But I was seeing all these accounts say like, you have to make a reel a day or something like that for people to see your stuff. And so I started doing it that way, and I had fun, but it just, I don't know. I feel like you shouldn't have to post videos. I wish people could just see your work You know, if you didn't want to make reels, I feel like you shouldn't have to be able to be found, because there's so many talented quilters that just don't want to make reels. I would have been 6, but I don't Instagram. I enjoy it. I started it because I don't really enjoy Facebook. I have a Facebook, but it's my personal Facebook, so like for family that lives far away that I don't see, I can keep them updated with the kids and everything and stay in contact, but I felt like I was annoying them with all my quilting stuff, so I went to Instagram and I used it as a way to just like digitally scrapbook all of the projects, because my mother-in-law, she's a quilter as well, and she has kept a binder of every single quilt. It's got a photo of everything she's made and like the pattern and like who it was for and the year and everything. And since I don't label all of my quilts, and since I do a lot of commission quilts, I was like, well, if I go on Instagram and I post every project, then I kind of have like a portfolio going. And then when people want to buy quilts from me, I can kind of say, hey, go over to my Instagram, and if you see like a certain layout, let me know what you like. And then it morphed into getting more involved in the social media aspect of it. And then now I'm on YouTube. So Facebook keeps me in touch with my family. I have a crap ton of cousins. Mom was one of 17. And Dad was one of 6. Oh my goodness. Wow. So you do have a lot of family that you need to keep in touch with. Facebook is the best thing for that. Oh my goodness. My Nana was one of 9, and it was pretty funny because I was only aware that she had 2 sisters, because when I would go visit her in California when I was younger, she only had her 2 sisters. So I remember one year in school, the project was to do a family tree, and so I started filling it out, and then I got to my dad's side and I put Nana and Papa, and then I put on her side, I was like, Nana and her 2 sisters, and then I called her just to make sure, and I was like, hey Nana, I'm making this family tree, and I've got you and your 2 sisters, and she's like, oh honey, I'm one of 9, and I'm like, what? But they've always lived really far away, and that's like a whole other story as to why I didn't know that information, but I thought it was funny. A lot of big families back then. Oh my goodness, I could not imagine. Can you imagine being pregnant 17 times? I mean, was there multiples? And even then, like that's like being pregnant for like half your life. Well, more, oh my goodness. I can't do math that well, so it's probably more than half your life. That's a lot of pregnancy. That's a lot. Stunning quilt. Thank you, Sandra. I appreciate it. I'm having fun with it. Hi, Sandra. No birth control back then. Whew. Yeah, 17. That's amazing, though. Are you close with all of your family? Or have they kind of like spread out everywhere? I feel like it would be hard. You guys would take over a whole town if you all lived in the same place. I love butter, but it has to be from, not bought. Do you mean homemade? I can tolerate milk, cream, and butter if it comes straight from the cow, not pasteurized. Okay. Are you lactose intolerant? Probably no TV too, lol. You gotta get busy somehow. Keep entertained somehow. That's hilarious, Tilia. My mom's parents were divorced when mom was little. Her mom had 10, her dad had 7 more. Oh my goodness. I'm mostly close with my family, although we don't travel to one another much. That'd be a lot of airfare if you did. Which is already expensive as it is. We don't travel to see my Nana and Papa. They're actually in Washington right now, in this little town called Gig Harbor. And it is gorgeous. It is so pretty, and I've been able to visit while they're down there twice. One before I was married and had kids, And then once when my son was like 7 months old, but we haven't visited since. And my aunt and my aunt's husband and my cousins live out there as well. But we never really get to visit because it's so expensive. And now that we just keep having kids, it's even more expensive to go fly out there. So I don't really get to see them that often, which stinks because I feel like I'm missing out on like a whole half of my family. Surely, if we can get our cows bred, I love homemade butter, cheese, milk, buttermilk, etc. The last time someone's bull wandered into our field, that was a big surprise when both skinny cows gave birth. Oh my goodness. I'm sure there's never a dull day where you're at with all the animals you have. What an exciting life. I love that. How are chicks 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5? I went to look underneath my Band-Aid today to see if maybe it was ready to just come off, and it's not. So I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to read my discharge papers to see like what to do with that thing that's on there. I think it's best to just leave it alone at this point, but I'm ready to have like my finger normal again. Let's see. My laptop always like goes black. I have 2 children but lost 6. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. It's what I always wanted, living in the middle of nowhere. There are now 6 and 7, and I think 8 is trying to hatch. How exciting. I'm sorry about that. So me and my husband went on our first date in May of 2016. We got engaged September of 2016. And we found out we were pregnant with our first that December. And we went on like a family vacation with his family to Florida, and we announced it to his parents and his brother and his brother's girlfriend at the time. They're married now, but and then we got back from vacation, and it was maybe a week or so after, and we lost the baby. And it was really, really hard. I remember just like leaving the hospital after, going to the urgent care and calling my grandmother, and she just sat, she was on the phone while we sat in the car, and she just prayed over us, and it was a really, really terrible time. And I don't really think we were ready to have a baby, but we were like really, really excited, and we were gonna do it. And then when we lost our baby, we kind of just tried to have another one, because then there was this void there that we hadn't ever realized would be there. But the biggest thing is so many women go through it, and not a lot of women talk about it. So when it happens to you, you feel alone, and it's really, really hard. So I'm very sorry to hear that. You're a strong, strong person to get through that, and I'm very sorry. My granny buried 5 of her kids before she passed. I can't, oh my goodness. That's terrible. It's not the way life's supposed to work. I'm very grateful for our kiddos, but that fear never goes away. Each time I was just so scared that it was going to happen again. So I'm sending you the biggest hugs right now. So many hugs. What do you guys do with your chicks? Once they hatch, what do you do with them? I don't know the process of having chicks and what you do and all that. How do you take care of them? Give me the down low, Melissa. School me on the world of chicks. I'm blessed with 2 girls and they each have 3 children. So I am happy. That is amazing. Do you get to see your grandbabies a lot? Do you guys live close? We're very lucky because we live in the same town that we grew up in, pretty much, for most of our lives. We went to school here. Our kids are going to go to the same schools, and both sets of grandparents live in the same town, so we only live a mile away from each set of our parents. So the kids are able to see grandchildren or their grandparents all the time. I have 3 children, and we have 7 blessings and 2 angels. Oh my goodness. See, so many women go through it. And it's crazy because until it happens to you, you have no idea. And it just hits you. We have a lot of angel babies up there. I actually made a mini quilt block for our baby. Alright, now to separate it. I should have been separating them as I went. Whoops. We'll see what we can do here. This is a mess. Why did I not organize it as I was going? Because of course these are like insane. So I'm going to have to use my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 1. Red is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as well. I'm a firm advocate for women's health being between the women and her doctor, mostly because I've heard the stories from older women in my family. Oh, I cannot even imagine. I cannot imagine those stories. That would be... I feel like it said 6, but it's not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold up. Why can I not count tonight? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is this one? I guess we're just going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. Start at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm kicking myself because last time I cut these out for the other half, I was actually like responsible and organized them. 16, 17. All right, I guess there's 7 sections. I was right. Here we go. Hello. Welcome. One of my aunts had huge problems with pregnancy, but wasn't allowed birth control because her husband didn't approve. Oh my goodness. God bless her. That is ridiculous. 3 yes, 3 no. My oldest granddaughter is staying with me right now. She is 18. Also, my mother-in-law lived to be 108. Saw 5 of her 8. Oh my goodness. Yeah, my family on my dad's side, I had my great-grandfather and my great-grandma, but my great-grandfather, he would have been 100 years this year, and he passed away 2 days before we had Louise. But my great-grandmother is like 98, so, and she doesn't even look it. I mean, she looks like maybe she's in her 70s. She's like in really good shape, so I have good genes on that side. Hopefully I can live a long, happy life. Hey, Stephanie. 108. Wow, that's a long life. Yes, that is a very long life. Hey, Stephanie and Beth. I'm in the shop now if you want to invite. I will send you the link over. Hey, Melissa. I'm off to bed, guys. Good night. Good night. Have a good night, Brandy. That is going to be an awesome quilt. I'm super excited. I get very, very obsessed over every quilt that I do. You'd think that it would wear off, but no, I'm like constantly chasing that high of finishing a quilt. I mean, is there any better feeling than like pouring your heart and soul into something and then completing it and then just wanting to like never put it down? Because this quilt, when I finished this one, I just thought I would annoy you guys with it for forever on Instagram and YouTube. My family and friends saw it on Facebook. All right, let me get the link for you, Courtney. I'm sending it over in Facebook Messenger right now. There we go. They call me a little... All 4 of my grandparents lived into their 80s. My mom and dad were both early 50s. Oh, wow. Yeah. It's all over the place sometimes. I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence because, you know, I looked at my great-grandfather. I called him Grandpa because we were really close growing up. And he had so many stories. Like, think of all of the things that you would experience in life. Like, that's like a whole lifetime. Like, that's a century. That's so much time. He was in World War II. He saw that. He saw, like, so many other things. I see you, Courtney. I'm turning you on. There you go. Can you imagine seeing, like, living through all of those things? If I organize now, I'm going to thank myself as I move through here. Okay, so I have a section. So what I'm going to do, what I did last time was I pulled the fabric. So, let's see.
Yes, Melissa. I'm here. For Beth.
Hey, oh, nice.
I finished it.
Courtney, in the flesh. How was your show with hubby?
It was good. He's just having a few days off.
Oh, nice.
He goes back to work on Friday.
My grandma on my mom's side died at, I think, 85-ish, but my other grandparents died when I was a young child. Don't know how old they were. Wow. Yeah, I'm saying if I, you know, I don't know. I don't know what age I'm shooting for, but I could not imagine being 100 years old, even 85. I mean, if I'm in good shape, you know, if I can, like, still walk and enjoy life, but I feel like That's just a very, very happy, fulfilled life. That's a good.
So my great grandma lived to almost being 100.
Oh my goodness. So you have good genes too, then. Oh, that's gonna look really good.
I try to ask
Yes.
everybody on what was that app that we were all communicating through?
On Discord.
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah. Let me find the pattern for you. My friend actually. Ooh, that was loud. My friend actually made it for me for Craftmas. We did a wall hanging swap, and she made me this bobbin one, and I made her a Baby Yoda because she's a huge Star Wars fan. So, let me see if I have the pattern. This is the one that I made her. That's all foundation paper pieced.
Ooh.
So, that's what I made for her for Craftmas. We did a little fun swap, and then she also gave me the graphic jam quilt pattern. She went and got it from KC Makers and surprised me with it. Let me see if I can find what pattern that was because she made it. I might have it.
Kathy's gonna be excited. My book will be here tomorrow. Melissa knows which one I ordered it earlier today. So I can do
Dang,
that
that's
all along
quick.
path with her.
Trying to track down this. If I can't find it in my files, then I'll look it up and see if it comes up. I should know the pattern, but I have forgotten it. She did such a good job on it. It was beautiful. This was the first wall hanging that I had put up in my studio because for the whole time that I've been quilting, I've never stopped and made myself a wall hanging. And my goal for this year is to personalize my space and make it like a very positive, happy place to come to. And so we did a little swap, and I was so happy to put this up on there. It was so cute. She is a very modern taste, and her fabric selection, you can't even tell, but there's some patterns in there. I don't know how people are so good with fabric selection. I always second guess myself with everything that I do. I'm like, does that look good? I don't know. And then I just kind of tell myself, go for it. Just do it. Because I can sit there for hours and be like, wait, no, what about this? Wait, no, what about this? What about this? So if I just tell myself, sit down and do it, and just pick something, it goes a lot better.
So the
I'm
pattern
going to message her and ask what pattern that is for you so that you can get it.
Yeah. So I ordered the Farm Girl Vintage, Melissa, earlier before lunch, I think, or afternoon, maybe 1 or 2. It was right after I texted you, but you were telling me about Melissa with her video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a good video. I was having fun on there.
It's coming from your area. I'm like, so right now it's in Lenexa.
Oh, that's really close to me. That's maybe 8 minutes away, 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
That's right there. Linux is a really nice. It is paper piecing. Do you like paper piecing? Then you better quit standing on chairs that swivel. Just saying. Sandra's looking out for me. Thank you, Sandra.
I didn't get to
stood
see
on
that
the chair twice, Courtney. One night I have pins in my mouth. I'm standing on chairs. Last week I cut myself with the rotary cutter. You guys better stop quilting with me. I'm a bad influence. Things get crazy over here. Melissa's asking what video? The rivet video?
Yes.
All right. So I'm just going, like, I'm sectioning, so each quarter has 3 wedges in it. So I cut them all out, I have them all bundled, and then I have the fabric. And this is what I did last time, and it worked out pretty well. I'll just do that again. 1, 2.
Awesome. Melissa's got a video for zippers.
Yes, I do need one for zippers. I'm so intimidated. My Meemaw, I mentioned her. She's the one that I was talking about the Meal on Wheels with. She's in St. Louis. She lives in St. Louis, and she is actually going to move to Shawnee, Kansas, because my mother-in-law drives out 4 hours, like, all the time to take her to all of her appointments. And so, because her sister lives out there, but her sister has a job, so she can't really do a lot. So she's gonna move to Kansas City. She's literally gonna live, like, right up the street from us in a senior living facility, and it's got, like, a whole bunch of things that she can do, and it's literally 4 minutes away from us, from my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, from my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, so we can all actually see her, and she actually gets to see all of her greats, so all of our kids, and, you know, my husband's cousin just had a baby, so there's just so much more out here for her. But she's gonna come out here, and I'm super excited. And I was trying to get to a point. I totally just went around it. But my mother-in-law was asking if I could make her a, like, phone carrier, like a lanyard to put her phone in, because she's on oxygen and she's got, like, a bunch to carry. So that's why I needed a zipper tutorial, Melissa, because I want to make her that. But every single pattern that I've looked at has a zipper. And I just, once I see a zipper in a pattern, I swipe to the next one. Trying to find one without it. I have a zipper video planned too. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate it. I have too many aches and pains as I age from doing dumb things. That's fantastic. Yeah, I'm super excited to actually, like, I just feel like she's going to have things to look forward to. She's not just going to be, like, sitting in her apartment, I just think it's really going to do such a good thing for all of us too, like, to have that time with her. She was actually just the other day, I think it was Monday or Tuesday morning, she had to be ambulanced from her apartment because she was having issues breathing, and she's still in the hospital right now, but she's looking good to go home soon. But we're just really happy to have her here so we can actually take care of her. My mother-in-law, after hearing that, drove that morning out to St. Louis. So 4-hour drive, and now she's going to be super, super close.
At least have family that can visit.
Yeah, because my husband's cousin lives out there, and he's visited her twice, and she's lived in that apartment for like 4 or 5 years or something like that, and he's visited her twice, and he lives there, and we visited more than he has, and we live 4 hours away, and we have 3 kids to tote, back and forth. So it's just going to be so much better that she's going to be close. We can take her grocery shopping, and, like, she really likes to go thrift shopping, so we can take her, like, Savers and Goodwill, and there's a Lion's Choice out here too. I don't know, have you tried a Lion's Choice? I don't know if there's one out where you are.
I don't know what that is.
It's a restaurant that is like a St. Louis restaurant, but they have 2 in Kansas, and it's like roast beef. It's like a glorified Arby's. It's freshly cooked roast beef sandwiches. There's like a whole bunch of other stuff on the menu too, but it's so good. And they have these orange creamsicle slushies. They're not slushy, they're like milkshakes. But have you ever had a creamsicle, like an orange creamsicle popsicle?
No.
Orange vanilla? They're so good. They're so good. You have to go to Walmart tonight, Courtney, and get yourself an orange vanilla popsicle. They're so good.
if ours would stay open. They've been having them closing early, even our gas stations. They're not open
We ate
24
those
hours
growing up.
anymore.
I can't believe you've never had one before. You're not living until you've had an orange creamsicle. They're really, really yummy.
Stephanie says, "Had any of you heard the great news about Yvette and Stephanie?"
Yes.
I haven't, so you're gonna have to tell me.
So they had that retreat.
Yeah.
And they had their live tonight, and they announced that they're doing We Sew Together retreats. That's like their new company. They're gonna go do retreats. They have one in Washington planned and one in Pennsylvania, and so they're gonna do retreats together. I was like, you need to come to Kansas City. So it looks like Sean's gonna go to the one in Pennsylvania probably. I'm
Yeah.
so jealous.
I'm jealous now because I've never been to retreats in my entire time.
I've never been to one before, but I would love to go.
But I have to take it back. I've been to where it's called Girls Week with my in-laws side of the family.
That sounds fun.
We get together, and I will be getting together, I think, in one more week before soon. And I don't go until the 19th, which is my mother-in-law's birthday. And
That sounds really fun.
welcome, Nellie, before I forget. She's new here.
All the different retreats they have planned. Hi to everybody, first time here. Hi, Nellie. Are you working on anything tonight? Yeah, I really want to go. Could you imagine? I literally get so starstruck still because one day Yvette was messaging me on Instagram and I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, I was on a live and she started commenting on the video and I'm like, it's Yvette. She's on my video. And I was like trying to keep my composure. I'm like, this is so cool. And she's like, hey, I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like you. And I'm like, are they pajama pants though? Because I wear pajama pants every single day. But every single time I see her and like, you know, people like interacting with each other, I just think it's so cool. It's like, wow, you see me? That's so cool. Because I've been watching her for a while. I really, really love Yvette. She's just her personality and she's always so chipper. And she remembered your name. She did. I was amazed. Can you imagine? Like, I'm really bad sometimes. Trying to get everything straight. And I was just like, she did. She so did. I was eating some Oreos when she did that. I made my husband go to Walmart to get me some Oreos tonight.
Well,
I don't know. I've been wanting chocolate lately.
I told Becca my new channel, and I've been commenting through that channel. And she's like, thank you for letting me know that's you. Because hubby took over mine, my personal one. Normally I do
that's really cool.
personal stuff watching on that end.
Yeah.
So that everybody could know my name.
Yeah.
Well, he's looking into a hobby of cameras. It's going to be fun.
I really like Sobecca too. They're all just so good.
Yeah.
I don't know how they get all their projects done the way they do. That Judy Niemeyer quilt that Yvette's working on?
Yeah.
No way. That's just like so much. I know it looks really intimidating. She said in one of her videos, if you know how to paper piece, it's really not that hard. It looks a lot harder than it really is. But still, they're just insane. If I made one of those, I would find a way to frame it and hang it up on the wall. No one would breathe on it.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Sorry, try to make sure my coffee doesn't go too cold.
Hey, we made progress. It's not a monster. That's good.
Yeah, I made Melissa happy. I think
I told my husband about that. I said, Austin, were you on when we were talking about energy drinks? And he was like, no, I think I fell asleep probably before that or whatever. And I was like, we were talking about energy drinks are bad, and Courtney drinks them too. So you guys can work together. Her and her husband too.
Yeah,
I keep saying I'm not worthy over that.
You won't be able to break the habit of my soda thing.
Oh,
I've
that's
done that
cool.
since I was not 6.
Is that root beer?
Mm-hmm.
Root beer is my favorite soda, so you got to pass for me on that one. If I'm drinking soda, it's root beer with I really like it with like burritos and stuff. I don't know. There used to be a really good burrito joint in like Lawrence, and every time I'd go and get a burrito, I would get a root beer. I used to really like Mountain Dew, but I can't drink it anymore. No way. And then I really like High C orange drink from McDonald's. I used to get that growing up, and then they canceled it. They stopped having it, and they brought it back like a year and a half ago. And when my husband messaged me and he sent me a picture of like the announcement that they were bringing it back, I thought it was a joke. I was like, no way. They're bringing it back? But I don't really drink sodas a lot.
About the mods.
Those drinks are so bad for you. The energy drinks or the root beer? The root beer's
Oh,
okay in moderation.
Melissa, I already showed her the last live, I think the other night, how to do it. Is there some
Yeah, let me
issues
go, because
going on?
right now I'm in the Restream. Let me go
Yeah, pull up
to
your
Burger King.
YouTube
Here
channel.
used to have Fanta Peach Sugar Free. Best stuff ever. That does sound yummy. My husband would probably really like that. He likes all the fruity sodas. My problem is with soda is the carbonation. I'm a wuss. I can't
Yeah.
do the bubbles. It literally kills me inside. And like I can do it for root beer, but there's some sodas that I'll try and drink and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't breathe.
I just made probably this tall of a jug full of water with tea bag in it. So right now
Oh,
it's making tea.
I don't drink tea either.
Well, I'm
I
trying
know
to
people
get
are
away
like
from soda.
religious about their tea. All right, let's see. I'm in my YouTube now, and it's a little delayed, so let me mute it. There we go.
As long as you
Um,
see who you want as modded as your moderator, that's how you'll find it.
well, I don't see. Um, you can now pin a message to the top of your live chat for viewers to read. Click any message to pin it. Use the options. Oh, okay. Well, let's see. Got it.
So
Okay,
if you
there we
go
go.
by their name,
Manage
yes, we
moderators.
got by it. And then add moderator is at the very bottom. It didn't take me long to figure that out.
So I have to like. Oh, okay. Hold on.
You can pick your moderators to be on. So like if I
Oh, there we
wasn't
go.
on right now, you could have chose me, and I should be still in the chat.
Oh, that's super cool. Thank you guys for sharing with me because you mentioned it the other night too. And I just haven't gone in because whenever I'm on here, I am in the restream portion. So I don't see that on YouTube, but I just picked Melissa to be the moderator if she is up for it. Hopefully, we don't have any
She's
trolls.
always up
Everyone
for it.
seems super
I
nice
can
on
tell
me.
you
So
that. That's why she's wanting mine too.
I
Her
agree, Melissa.
and Kathy. They're both my mods, along with you and Sean and Teresa Louise.
Let it sit for a bit before you drink it, but it's probably
If
better.
Stephanie ever gets on my live eventually, I'll get her added.
I was watching one of Teresa's videos while I was putting Louise down. I was feeding her, and my husband came up, and he thought it was live. And then I told him, I'm watching. He was like, this is a replay? I'm like, yeah. Because I was sitting there, and he thought it was live. And I'm like, it's not live.
I do go live tomorrow night at 7.
Yay! I will not be on. I will just be in your comments. I won't go live. I know I've been doing it a lot lately because I'm just in the basement alone. You guys keep me company.
Yeah. You might pick Stephanie too. She's on to help if you want.
Oh,
She's
awesome.
doing more of a long arm quilter.
All right, let me add her.
Are you trying to get the other half started?
Yeah, well, I'm just organizing for now. I'm not sure I'm actually going to sew tonight. Maybe if I feel ambitious, but I think I'm just going to organize my pieces so tomorrow night I can just like go for it and hopefully get a fourth of it done, a fourth of the other half. All right,
Yeah,
let's see. I'm going back in here.
Tomorrow night's this pattern.
Hold on one second. Let me get back in there. What's tomorrow night?
Daydream.
Ooh, I love your project boards. I need to make some of those.
I can make a video of it.
That'd be awesome. I've been
I
meaning
get
to.
Dollar Tree foam boards.
Oh yeah, that'd be.
No, it's just I figured try get how much
I
done.
went
So I have this
I was watching your live, Melissa.
on one thing. So one of my issues on one of the quilts, it looks straight at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Get all the way to the bottom of that quilt, and I didn't piece it. It'll go straight in this corner, and then just do this. So I don't know. Somewhere in the block, it's not right.
Is it on the long arm? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Is there a way to camouflage that?
Huh?
Is there a way to camouflage that? Probably not.
No.
No.
But I just figured take it off before I make myself straight crazy. Yeah, mine's with batting, but if you use 505.
Are you floating?
Okay, what Stephanie's saying is if you float your tops instead of attaching it to a bar.
Oh, I thought she literally meant, are you floating?
She's asking me if I'm floating quilts. Yes, I float quilts over.
I need to learn the long arming lingo because trying to figure out what leaders or whatever for my cutie has been just. I don't want to use hot glue.
Stephanie, it's every Thursday at 7 p.m. I just got to put the rest of the Thursdays. I just didn't know if I want to complete the entire quilt and then do the quilting all at once. So that's one project. But so like if you don't, the only thing I attach is my backing on my long arm to the top bar and the bottom bar. Okay, thank you, Stephanie. It just drives me nuts when I do it. Because like out of all of the other quilts, they would be fine.
Yeah.
And I thought about doing what Tecker does. He based the whole thing, roll it back up, and then do it again. But I'm not sure about that one. You know?
Yeah, that seems all that's above my head. Because mine's a hoop frame. I learned that. I've been watching the videos that you guys recommended from Leah Day. I hope I said that right. But it's a hoop frame, so I have to have mine sandwiched. Like I don't have the bars to like roll it up to base it, so I have to have it. And I'm completely fine with that because I don't mind spray basting.
Well, Delilah was asking what are leaders, and I'm going to show her. These are leaders that hold my backing. And then down here, so I don't drop the computer, is my backing leader. And then further down is my top leader for my top quilt. But I don't use that one.
It's so, I didn't realize, but you would realize it super quick, but the leaders are so that you can quilt the quilt because you have that bar that hits or whatever. Your machine can only go so far. So if you didn't have the leaders, Delia, you wouldn't be able to quilt a lot of like the top of the quilt and the bottom because you'd be running into the bar of the long arm. I learned that through watching a lot of videos and from trying to put a wall hanging on my cutie just the way it was with only about 2 inches extra on each side. And I was like, well, that's not going to work. I can't reach anything. So then the leaders is what extends
the spacing so you can.
Yeah, just makes it so you can reach your quilt.
But the only reason I just don't use the bottom is because I feel like it stretches more of that quilt top out. once I start getting into the backing. Okay, I'll do that and see if that fixed that problem. It just went from one corner straight, one corner like that. See, that's how it was weird, out of nowhere, Beth. And I have the top part straight all out. So, thank you, Stephanie. Oh, and Melissa says, "That's a pretty blue wrench you got there, girl." She got her wrench.
Yay! You wear it proudly. Thank you for your service, Melissa and Stephanie. I appreciate it. I don't know a lot about YouTube. I literally jumped in blind. I was like, I'm gonna make some videos, and then when I hear like you guys and Sean, you guys talk about like the analytics side of it, I have no idea. The moderator side, I guess like trolls could come on. I think I did see like a weird comment on one of my videos, and it was like an advertisement or something.
Yeah.
But I literally am blind going into this. I have not done a lot of research, and I'm learning a lot with you guys taking me under your wing.
Melissa said we all jumped in blind.
I guess that's true. I guess you just don't really know what to expect until you start swimming, you know? Mm-hmm. Jump in the water and start swimming.
Yeah.
YouTube's just a really, really big pool of water. There's a lot of swimmers.
Sorry, you had to see that fabric's hot, so I don't want to.
I had 2 quilts that I quilted for customers recently. They had a lot of fullness. Steam and starch were my best friend.
Yeah.
I think that's what because I sent my Moon Medallion quilt to my friend Kelly at Steel City Quilt Co. and she long-armed it. And she was messaging me while she was doing it, and she was saying that there was a ton of fullness in the center, and she kind of had to like make the decision. I don't remember exactly what it was, but since it's like a symmetrical quilt, she didn't want to like push or like let me think of the word.
She doesn't want to stretch it out.
Yeah, she didn't want to manipulate it outward. She wanted to keep it symmetrical, so she kept all the fullness in the center and just quilted it because she didn't want it to mess up. I have no idea what she was talking about because I don't see any like fullness or anything, and I'm guessing this is what like the center part of the medallion. I guess I see it like maybe some, but that's all my piecing because I fudged this quilt so much. I did not do a lot of trimming because I didn't have any room to quilt or to trim, because if I would have trimmed and like squared everything up, it would have all been short. So I just stretched and finagled around.
So when you stretch, when you complete the quilt when you're working with it, if you stretch it, that's when it's going to react back when you start your quilting.
Well, I told her, I was like, Kelly, you may be cursing me while you, like, as soon as you see underneath this quilt, you're going to know all my dirty secrets, and I really hope you don't judge me for it. And she said, it's okay, it's fine. It's fine. But, I just thought it was funny. I made like a video that day on Instagram, and I'm like, you need to have a really good relationship with your long armors because they know what's going on underneath that quilt.
Yeah. I've been doing that. I've been quilting since 2018 for this.
Oh, wow.
Feet right into the water and did it. Well, yeah. I had the computerized system, so that helped me out.
Yeah. That's really cool. I would love to have a long arm. I bet that's just so much fun. Do you do a lot of free motion, or do you do mostly edge to edge?
I do mostly for my clients. I will do just computerized because it's easier, and they can't come back at me saying I did something different.
Yeah.
But if it's family, this is all me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I did that.
Do you use a ruler?
I don't know how much.
Move it like up a little, like flat, like go like this. Like hold it like this because your
It's
lights
more
on
of the
top.
lighting above my head.
Yeah, that way I can see like because I see some. Oh, there we go. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Dang, girl. That looks good.
I do
And that's
really
all
love
freehand? Do you use a ruler at all?
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. I
I
feel
have
like
a
it's
ruler
almost
base
harder
as
to
well.
use a ruler because then you only like. I feel like it's hard to keep your ruler down.
As long as you're using, give me a second. So when I do ruler work, I have a special base on my frame. And I know Stephanie has that. So this is my base. It attaches to me.
Oh, cool. And you put
This
like the
part goes
circle
to the back of the neck. This is to, in case, so it won't hit, so I won't go past the bar.
Uh-huh. That's cool.
Literally. This bucket is full of rulers.
I have a bunch too. I think I have like all of the Angela Walters ones because I was gonna do a lot of free motion quilting on my machine, but I tried doing it on my Singer, and the ruler foot I got just did not work at all. I don't know if like you have to adjust it, but I was so excited to use the rulers, but the ruler foot that I had just did not work out. And that's
So
your ruler
depending
foot?
on the machine, if you have a high or low shank, that
Yeah.
could have been your problem.
Well, I got a high shank foot, so I got the right one, but I was reading a lot of comments and everything, and people were saying that you had to adjust the tension or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get
If
it
you
to
really
it wasn't
work, your tension will be different. So
I
with
would
my
figure it out.
so for a while, my Bernina has bad habits. They didn't. So when I first started, I had two ruler foot. They both broke on my long arm.
Oh my god.
Because along this little neck,
Yeah.
would break off. And so I get it replaced. I had a 1-year warranty on them. So if they broke in that year, they replaced them for me.
Yeah.
I still have the one I just got back from them, and that was over 3 years ago, along with these two.
Dang.
And I still they haven't broke yet because I don't do a lot of ruler work.
Knock on wood, Courtney. Knock on wood, they could still break.
To watch free motion quilting, there's another person you should watch. Natalia Bonner. She's really amazing with free motion work.
Really?
On YouTube as well.
I'm gonna have to check her out then. I'm obsessed with feathers and pearls. And paisleys. I really like the paisley petals. I did free motion on one quilt. And it was on my first machine. It was a little tiny brother machine. And I was so determined to do some free motion quilting on it. And I free motion quilted the whole thing. I did some straight line quilting with my walking foot, like in some areas, but I'm pretty proud of myself for this quilt. See if I can pull it up. You're probably not even gonna be able to tell. This was back before I was like super into taking like decent photos of my quilts. I learned like right away. I was like, these quilts deserve to maybe get better
That's her
lighting.
YouTube channel, by the way. Yes, Delilah, that's her
Decent quilt.
channel.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. I'm going to check that out. I'm going to put it on my list, actually. I'm going to write it down.
And if you're even on TikTok, she's on there too.
Did you go live last night after we got off?
No. I kind of focused on trying to figure out So I took the quilt that I was telling you about the bowing.
Mm-hmm.
I took it off because I was like, I can't fight it at 1 o'clock in the morning. So I took another one and put it on.
Yeah.
Hey, Wendy. She says quilters apothecary. I can't say that word.
Quilters
Yeah,
Apothecary is very good. That's a hard one. Apothecary. What even is apothecary? What's the, I'm thinking of a, apothecary reminds me of haberdashery. I like that word. If I ever had a quilt shop, I'd call it a haberdashery. Just because it's a fun word. I'm going to see if there's a way in here to share something on my screen. There is. So I can share, if I get on my Instagram, I can show you guys an actual like picture of what's on my screen and see if that works. We are going to try it out, guys. We are going to see. I am not a technology whiz, so let's see what happens. I'm going to rely on you guys to tell me if it's working or not. I'm going to scroll down to it. Try and share my screen and you guys tell me if it's working or not.
Oh, Delilah says it has to do with medicine. That word.
Apothecary does? Alright, here we go. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see what happens. This is fun. Courtney, we're going to learn together because if you get restreamed, then you can share things on your computer. Here we go.
I don't have anything on my computer right now because I had it fixed a couple weeks ago.
Oh my gosh.
She did it.
There we are. All right. Let's see if I can get. Can you guys see that?
You pull it up on Facebook.
Are you guys seeing that?
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, look at that. There's my free motion quilting. I did a lot of paisleys in here. All right. So that's okay. So if I move my tab, you can see. But can you guys see the swirlies in the middle of the heart?
You should be able to click on your picture. It should pull it up more.
See if I can like. There we go.
And of course, I get a message from UPS.
I can like zoom in that way, but it won't let me like click anymore on the photo. This is fun. All right, I'm gonna hop back.
Okay.
Over here, and then I'll stop screen sharing. That was cool.
Yeah.
I just amazed myself with my technology. But here we go. I have my YouTube in the background talking back at me. I thought someone was talking in the comment section. I was like, whoa, I can hear people in the comment section. And I was like, oh, wait, that's me on a different tab on the YouTube live. But I figured out how to screen share. That's pretty cool. Do you see that button, Courtney? Do you see like underneath the screen options? And then it has a screen. So if you want to share anything ever, you can hop on there and see if it works for you too. Pretty cool.
Here we go. I don't know if you guys can see it.
We can all support one another in our. Okay, let me turn it on. So I guess I have to turn it on. So this is what Courtney's screen looks like. And let's see if we can like just, there we go. Let's find a way that we can really get, we're going to just try different screen options so that we can actually see.
Is it working?
Pretty, oh yeah. We can see your screen. I'm trying to find a way to actually see more of just your screen. That's probably the best one, where it minimizes us and then.
Oh, hold on, so I can see you guys. It drives me nuts. I can't see you.
Nice.
It was one of my cousins, senior, and then there's that was my customer's quote.
That's such a cute pattern. Is that
And I did that all
a
freehand.
nativity scene? Wow.
There's more of it.
Is that a nativity scene?
Yeah.
Stephanie says we can all support one another in our free motion quilt journey. I love that. Yes, we can. I feel like there's so many things to learn. Wow. Your machine is
The quilt
beautiful.
that I
I'm so
did
jealous
for the fair.
of your guys' long arms. I'm just like, I want to get this quilt done so I can play around on my cutie. Because that's my little long arm. I got the stitch regulator. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, I think
It's coming
so.
in the mail hopefully soon, and by the time I finish this, I should be able to play around.
I created that.
Oh, I love that. And of course it's purple. It's
Yes.
gotta be purple.
Okay, here we go. There's the rest of my stuff. I'm gonna click on it. It's gonna make noises.
I saw that on TikTok the other day. That edge to edge is perfect on those purples. It looks like a galaxy. Was that gold thread that you used?
I don't want to keep that one.
Was that gold
There's the
thread
other
that
one.
you used?
Huh?
Was that gold thread that you used with that star panto on that purple?
That was just white thread.
Wow. It looks really pretty. I love that.
All right, here's this one. I should turn the volume down. There we go.
I love that. I love all the purples that you choose. I feel like purple is
So
one
the
of those colors
purple
that I use a
is
lot
the
of.
leftover fabric I did.
I love that.
So what I did was took 2.5-inch strips, literally 2.5-inch strips of my scrap bin. Pulled out all the blues, all the purples, and just stuck them together.
I love it. That kind of reminds me of I made a sewing machine cover. It didn't end up. I'll turn it off. Oh, there you go. You got it. Let me show you. That the closest thing I've done to that is I one day went through all my scraps and I was watching a YouTube video and I'd seen that some people do their scraps by size, so I cut a bunch of the 2.5-inch jelly rolls. I made like a ton, and then I was like, I want to make a sewing machine cover, and it's not a sewing machine cover because I'm too lazy to bind it. Now it just holds like a bunch of random batting scraps and randomness, but I'm gonna dump it out on the floor here and be like really confused as to why everything's on the floor later on. But I wasn't liking that it was sagging, so I glued some goldfish cardboard to it because I don't really think I'm gonna be washing it. But here's my sewing machine cover that I made. I did the sewing machine pattern from Quiet Play. This was the first paper piecing thing that I'd ever done. And then I did like a jelly roll race quilt with all of my scraps. And so like there's a bunch of like florals and some cats here and sloths and like this fabric from my quilt that I made for when we were having Louise or whatever.
Yeah.
So this is supposed to go over my sewing machine, over my Singer, to keep dust from it. But I just don't like how it turned out. I even like used fusible foam for the first time on here. So I just put it in my table upside down like this, and I put batting scraps in it for whenever I make a quilt and I need like something for like a wall hanging or something. And then it's accumulated to random cords and yeah, we're just not gonna look at it. We're just gonna put it back in and forget about it again. But this is the sewing machine cover I made. It was my first jelly roll race thing that I did.
Yeah.
But that kind of makes me think of that.
Stephanie says I made the sewing machine foundation paper piecing pattern too.
I love that pattern. When I saw that pattern, I was like, this is the pattern that's going to get me the confidence and gusto to like actually try paper piecing finally, because when I saw that, I was like, I want to hang it up in my sewing room. I made 2 and I messed up a piece and it looked like an old singer, like the crank one. And I was like, that works. And then I made it the right way the second time. But that was my first paper piecing.
So you're gonna be happy. I got my phone to let me log into my Instagram.
Sorry, I'm putting all this stuff back. All this
You're
crap
fine.
back. There we go.
But I was able to get in.
To Instagram?
Yeah, on my phone.
Yay! I love Instagram. I just could scroll on there forever and never get bored.
Well,
Oh, let's see.
so I was gonna type to you on your live, and all of a sudden my 5-year-old dog decides she's gonna lay on my chest. I couldn't watch TV. I couldn't watch you, but I could hear you. So with my hearing aid and controller, it's Bluetooth to the phone, right? So
Mm-hmm.
everything like YouTube, music, anything that's playing in the background, it was in my ears, not my husband. And so she's just big 75-pound dog laying on my chest, and I'm like, I can't breathe. And then she thinks she's gonna take her ball and dig a hole in the dog food and hide her ball. I'm like, quit making a mess with the dog food.
Why is it the biggest dogs think they're like the lap dogs of the world?
Mine, did I show you a picture of how I had Anna when she was little?
I think so. Is it the one where she was like right here?
Yeah.
Yes.
She was just
My husband is he gives all the dogs the cuddles that mama doesn't give them. He's like the dog whisperer of the house. I feel so, he's like, you don't even love them anymore. You had kids and you just don't even love them. I'm like, I'm so touched out by the end of the day. I don't want anything touching me, and I don't want to be touching
Yeah.
anything else unless it's fabric and my sewing machine. The sewing machine and fabric don't need me.
My kitty cat before she passed away.
Aw, that reminds me of the cat I had growing up. His name was Fod, and he was black and white. And black and white cats are my favorite. They're so cute.
That was my second one. That's the one I rescued off of Highway 96 between Wichita and Hutch.
Yeah.
And we named her Moana.
Oh,
So that's where we have all these Disney names.
The Mufasa, and you got Lion King and Moana. Do you have another movie?
Frozen.
Yep.
Nightmare is from Nightmare. What was it? Christmas Before Nightmare or something?
Nightmare.
Nightmare Before Christmas, I think.
Something like that. That one's a good. So there's 2 separate movies. There's that one, and then The Bride.
Yeah.
They're 2 separate movies. I always thought they were the same.
Stephanie's asking us something. I have 3 German Shepherds. 75 pounds, 83 pounds, and 85 pounds.
Those dogs are loyal, and they're beautiful. German Shepherds are just gorgeous. We have a black Labradoodle and a pure white standard poodle. We got Buddy and Newly. We kept Newly. That was his name. His name was Versace when he was a puppy, and they had got him from Florida from a breeder, and they were going to breed him. And they lived in the middle of nowhere in Kansas. They still do, but it was like past the hills and literally nowhere. And we drove 4 hours out. So this is funny. So this is how much we love dogs. Even though I don't have the patience to like love the heck out of them anymore. My husband and I are definitely dog lovers because we drove 4 hours out to get Buddy when he was a puppy. Then we drove home, and then they contacted us because I was doing like a lot of like marketing. I was just like trying to get it out there that they were having puppies and trying to get their puppies homes. And I was able to get like a few of them homes, but they had one left and they were like, if you want him, come get him. So we drove 4 hours out. We were in a 968 square foot apartment and we already had Buddy and we had 2 kids and we were like, yeah, well, we'll get this other labradoodle and we'll bring him home. So we go all the way out there, bring him home, and he was super timid. He like was not enjoying it at all. And so we just thought it was like the best interest of him to go back. We had secured him a different home. They said someone could take him if we weren't able. So we drove 4 hours back and brought him back. And then once we got a house and they reached out about Newly, they were like, hey, you know, you guys are awesome. Like, we have another dog that we can't breed anymore, and he's just on the farm and he needs to be in a house. He had never been inside before, ever, before we brought him home. And so we drove all the way back to get Newly once we had a house and we had a yard. And yeah, so we'd made that drive several times with giant dogs. And my husband is obsessed with them. He wants to have them sleep in the bed. And I'm like, no, we already have a baby sleeping in the bed. Our king size bed's getting smaller and smaller here. We cannot do that.
So here's what Leia
Oh,
sleeping upside down because it was so hot outside. I let them stay inside, so she slept upside down. Right by her
on the hardwood.
booty is the air conditioner vent.
Smart puppy, smart dog. That's me. That's me in the summer. I'm such a wimp. I'll sleep on the floor on the air vent.
And that's my
Aw.
Anna. I don't think I have a recent picture of Moomin.
No dogs in
I
the
gotta
bed.
show you the baby
Absolutely.
picture of him.
I'm with you, Melissa. Oh my goodness.
He's so cute.
That's so cute. Yeah, I'm like, you know, there's dog hair everywhere else in the house. You know, the bed can be our zone, our no dog zone. I've lost control everywhere else. Me and my husband, he's like, I want to build them a side bed to put on the side of my side of the bed. They won't be sleeping with you, they'll be sleeping with me. And I'm like, as long as they're not in the bed, I don't care what you do. I grew up with 4 dogs. We were a boxer family. So we had always had really big dogs. And then we also had Yorkies. So my parents now, they have 2 boxers still and 2 Yorkies. And they sleep in their bed. Or at least they used to for a very long time. I think they've actually switched to not having dogs in the bed either because they got tired of their crap. They're like, get out of my bed. I don't have any room. There's 4 dogs in it. But I grew up with boxers in the bed. So once I got my own bed, I was like, no. Oh my gosh. Those
That's
ears.
Moo when he was little. I had to
Those
help him up
ears.
into the chair.
So cute.
His ear would not go straight for years.
That's so cute. That reminds me of the Yorkie that I just love when their ears are like this. It's just so much. Hey, buddy, come here. Come here.
So this was before she passed away. She had 5 different kittens.
You could
One was white. My mom wanted to take the white one. Ooh, cute puppy.
Here. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Yeah, we went and so his mom was a standard poodle. She's still alive, but she actually just had another litter. But she was a huge, pure white standard poodle, and his dad is a giant. Like we went when we brought his brother back, and we went to the farm because they have like a farm with a whole bunch of like dogs and horses and everything, kind of like you, Melissa, and but I don't think you breed dogs, but his dad, he just got drool all over. His dad was the beefiest chocolate lab I have ever seen. This dog's midsection was giant. I have never seen a lab. It was so big. I was like, whoa, that's a dog? He's huge. But I just can't believe his coloring. He had a chocolate lab and a white poodle, and he's black. And he takes after more on the lab side for his coat. He's not he sheds. So, oh,
That's him currently now.
so cute.
He's still got all the black in his face and everything. Him and Leia are half siblings. Same dad, different moms.
That's interesting.
Because we brought
I
them
like
both to the
having
same brooder.
siblings. I like that. All of the boxers that we had were either full or half siblings. Like they were either from the same litter or just like one between. We had the first set was Kona and Crunch. We had a reverse brindle and a fawn with socks. I mean, boxers are just so cute. And then now they have Colt and Tank. And Tank is an all-white boxer, and Colt is brindle. So not reverse brindle. He's the dark with the dark. Kona was so pretty because the reverse brindle, they look like tigers. It's like that light orangey brown with black. So pretty. And then they have the Yorkies and they have a miniature Morkie and then a Yorkie. And they always, I mean, Yorkies are great, but they take so much attention to groom and keep well groomed because all that hair.
Yeah.
Thanks for the chat, everyone. I have got to go. Good night.
Good night, Shirley.
Have a great night. Courtney's going to be on tomorrow night, so I'm sure I'll see you guys in the chat tomorrow. Hi, Kathy. Kathy's here.
Yay. You finally came.
Yay.
And I didn't tell you.
Good night, Delia. Have a great night.
Oh, you're
Thanks
going to
for
love this
chatting
song.
with us.
It looks like my daughter's praying.
Aw, I love that.
When
Saunas
she-
are so fun. I did that class for foundation paper piecing design, and I wanted to do an ultrasound picture as a paper piecing pattern to make.
Yeah.
So that's on my horizon. Stephanie says, though we have a small dog, he has a big dog demeanor. If we get another dog, it will be my service dog. Must be a shepherd or larger dog. Hey, Kat. Good night, everyone. Sorry I was late. Oh,
You're
hey,
fine. We'd rather you show up than me saying late. But don't forget
out all my
tomorrow,
tickets.
Kathy. 7 p.m. my time.
I should be sewing, but I'm just having fun talking tonight. Sometimes it's good to take a break in between. Oh, look at that face. So cute.
There you go.
Oh,
That's really good
man,
little
look how
pussy.
tiny.
She
So
was a tiny girl.
How much did she weigh when she was born?
6 pounds, 20 ounces, 19 inches long.
Oh my gosh. Because, let me think. I don't know if it was Zoe or Louise. I'm already to that point where I'm like forgetting details. I think it was Zoe. She was like 7 something, but when she left the hospital, she was 6 pounds, and she was so tiny because Addington was like a big beefy baby. He was like, he had the ham hock legs that you just wanted to eat, and then we had Zoe, and she was like the most petite little thing, and I'm like, I can't eat her. Where's the rolls? Give me my roly baby back. Beth, who was the instructor for your FPP design class? Dana Ella Jones. I believe. Aw. It's a pretty smile. I believe she still has some openings. I think she's at 8 and she caps it at 10. So if you're interested in doing that, it was a really good class. The only thing I would say was maybe it was my fault, but I had maybe the wrong expectation of getting into electric quilt a little more than we did. We didn't really play around in there. It's all by hand, which is fine. I just thought we would do the by hand and then she would show us how to like get into electric quilt and like transfer it over, but we didn't do that. So I'm gonna have to figure that out because I was really hoping to figure out that section. I did play around. Let me show you what I did. It's a really good class though. She's really, really nice. This is what I worked on. I've not
Melissa,
piece
did
it
you just
together.
like my comment on your video? I keep getting this. Someone like to comment. Someone like to comment. Blowing up on my phone. I like the fact that I get likes.
9 pounds 4 ounces and 10 pounds 4 ounces. Melissa, did you have C-sections or did you do that the other route? I had sunroof babies, so all of mine came out the sunroof. All of them were C-sections. They have big heads. That's why my body was like, nope, you got to go the other way. I had toddlers, not newborns. I know how that feels. With my son, he was 7 pounds 8 ounces, but he was so chunky as a baby. He just like plumped up. And for the longest time, even now, like he looks a lot older than he is. But I would go to the playground and people would be like, oh, how old is he? Is he like 4 or like 3? Because they would have their 3 or 4-year-olds. And I'm like, no, he's like 18 months old, you know? he's just big. My daughter was 5 pounds.
Her daughter was 5 pounds. Her son is 6 pounds and 5 ounces.
Oh my gosh.
I got lucky.
Little babies.
Literally, because the other side of the Jane was 10 pounds when he was born.
Oh my gosh.
I freaked out because I was worried.
I was
born 5 pounds.
5? You were 5 pounds?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, such little babies. Lucky. My first baby, I mean, Addington was just not, he was not going to, it wasn't going to come out. But this is the picture that I chose for my picture portion of the class because my son really likes Clifford and Louise really does. So I just like, I don't know, I'm not going to like sell this or anything. So I know like copyright, you have to like look out for that. But this was just, I wanted to practice. So this is what I did. See if I can morph it. Oh, so you can kind of see. So this is the pattern that I made for it by hand. And then I tried to go into electric quilt. So I transferred all my foundations onto this paper. I just have so much going on that I wasn't able to actually finish that portion. So I then went into electric quilt and I tried to make similar lines from what I did by hand, but they didn't really match up that well within the software. So this is what came out from electric quilt when I took the pattern and I started doing all of that. And hold on. Then here are all the pieces. So I haven't pieced it together yet just because I have so much going on all the time. But when I do, I think I'm going to give it to my son and hang it up in his room or something, or like put it in his memory box.
Yeah.
Because he really loves Clifford. He has like 20 Clifford stuffed animals. He's obsessed. So that's what the class was about. If you are interested in learning like the behind the scenes of actually like doing it by hand and you don't want to just go into Quilt Assistant or electric quilt, I definitely recommend it. If you've been doing paper piecing, you're going to be in a good spot to understand a lot of it. There were people that, I mean, I think everyone in the class had experience with paper piecing, which helped, but I feel like if you didn't have any experience piecing it, it would be a little bit harder. But if you've been doing paper piecing, you know how things come together and it makes a little bit more sense. But Dana Ella Jones, she's a great class. It's called Demystifying Design. And if the class fills up, she's going to do another one in like May. I think the next one's in June. Wait. April, May. Okay, so no, it's May. And then the next one she'll do in June, I think. I reversed that.
So I have an iPad.
Mm-hmm.
There's an app called Quiltography or something that you can design your stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was like $15. Like, but I'm looking for that. What's the software?
Quilt Assistant?
I think that's what it is.
That's free. So that's a free software. Anyone can go on there and you can take a picture of whatever you want to turn into a paper design, and it'll just automatically do it for you. And I will say that I had talked to a few designers, or one in particular that I've tested for, and I was asking her, I was like, I'm not trying to like get any secrets or anything, but that's Electric Quilt. So I have that. That's not free. If you
Yeah.
go on Quilt Assistant, that's the one that's free. And the person that I was talking to, she said that she actually goes into Quilt Assistant first and then transfers it into Electric Quilt or whatever. But she uses the free software. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, I would definitely recommend doing the assistant first because Quilt Electric is not very user friendly. It's kind of hard to figure it out, and there's not a lot of resources online for like the paper piecing portion. There are some good videos of someone like making a maple leaf. I can't remember like the name of who it was, but most of the stuff on there is for traditional piecing and like making traditional blocks. So you kind of have to just like fiddle around with everything and learn it yourself. So if you have time to do that, that's great. But I haven't done a lot in Quilt Assistant. I literally just went on there today and browsed it for a second. But I'm in a paper piecing class on Facebook or a group, and a lot of people use it and really like it. So
Okay.
I would recommend going in there and playing around first before buying the electric quilt because it's pretty expensive. I was 5'10" and 120 pounds. Oh, I thought you were saying when you were born. I was like, wow. Oh my
They were talking
gosh.
about all the baby stuff.
You're little.
I was 165 when I found out I was pregnant.
Wow. I
Never got back
know.
to it. After I lost a lot of the baby weight, I get to 175, and then gained it all back when I got married.
Well, I feel like COVID is kind of like, we're all staying home. Like, we were forced to stay home for a while and, be at home more. I feel like that, and then just the stress of everything. I don't think humans are supposed to go through all this stress, I think it's affected all of us physically.
Yeah.
My husband's a homebody. He always tells me, I'm an inside man or something like that. I'm an inside man. I'm like, we need to go outside. We need fresh air. We need to go do something.
But no, I just want to make a dinosaur, a big dinosaur.
I'm excited to see what you do. That's gonna be really cool. I'm being irresponsible tonight. Do you see me not? I'm not sewing. I'm usually like in my zone, like going after it. But I'm like feeling accomplished with cutting all my
I
and
think we're both
organizing all
just
my.
like opposite to each other. One goes sew, and the other just talks some more.
Let's see. Let's see if I can find anything fun to
So Kathy, I
share.
got the book. It should be here today or tomorrow. Excuse me. It says it's gonna be here about 12:35, between 12:35 and 4:45. At least I don't have to go get my kid tomorrow. So we have a system. So my mom takes her to school. So Michael, my husband, if he doesn't work that night, he goes gets her. If he works that night, I go get her. So
That's a lot of coordinating.
Hmm?
That's a lot of coordinating. Does he have like a normal schedule or is it
it's right now it's screwed up. So like he got moved to days. Then they asked him to. Good night, Kathy. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, Kathy. Have a good night. Get some
I got that
rest.
Farm Girl vintage book.
She's gonna be live tomorrow night. So I'll be in the comments and I'll say hi. I like chatting in the comments with people. It's fun. Sorry, you were saying that his schedule right now is screwed up?
Yeah. They offered him extra money to go back to nights because they
Did
had
you
to
say it
take
was until his
somebody off
birthday
of
though?
nights for the moment. Huh?
Until his birthday, right?
Yeah.
When's his
It drives
birthday?
me nuts. May 14th.
Oh my goodness.
But the
So
thing
you
is,
still got
it
some
was
time.
just, I don't like it. He gets moved to days and they need him back.
It's almost sometimes like the change, like if it were constant, it's like the constant up, the changing is what's hard. Because I feel that with Austin, like with everything, he used to go in the office every day, and then he went to not going into the office. Then he went to going to the office for like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then being home Thursday and Friday. And then he went to not going in at all. And then he went to, now he goes into the office Wednesdays and Thursdays. So today he was in the office. But it's like it's not even for me anymore. I'm used to like the constant change. It's kind of sucky on the days he's not here because I like having like someone to keep me company with the kids. But
Yeah.
the kids adjusting, like they wake up and they're like, "Where's Dad?" And I'm like, "He's at work." And they think he's down in the basement working. I'm like, "No, he's like actually out of the house in the office." I have to like explain to them that he's not in the house because like, "Oh, we'll just go get him." I'm like, "He's not here." He's not here. But we've had a lot of change too. That's hard, especially as a spouse.
Yeah. So today he came back because he had to go do some appointments and go get his car. I made the bed when I got up. That's the hardest part of my schedule is because I like to make sure my bed's made before I leave the room. Makes the room look nice. And he's like, I feel bad every time I go to lay down and you made the bed. And I don't want to mess it up. I'm like, just mess it up. Make sure you fix it. And he's like, I don't fix it like you. You do a better job than I do. I'm like, how do I do a better job?
We do not make our bed. You're responsible. You'd be disappointed in our room if you went and looked in there.
It's just that I like to keep our bedroom door open.
Yeah.
Normally I close both of our bedrooms and the bathroom with the animals. Right now the cats can't be near the dogs. My almost 6-year-old German Shepherd is trying to eat her. I'm like, no, you don't do that.
That's not a toy. That's your bed.
Our youngest German Shepherd. He just wants to play, but in his mind he thinks he's itty bitty.
Yeah.
So
How's your block coming along?
I've already just finished the one section.
That looks so
Can't
good.
see the cat head.
I love it. Little ear there.
Becca said that she normally isn't a yellow person, but she really likes this one.
It's so pretty.
No, because what I was doing is putting the acorn stuff on it. And then press it before I sew the next two sides. So I gotta go in tomorrow to help with the librarian. And I'm not ready for that. I want to take a week off after subbing.
What time do you have to go in? Do you go like right when school starts? No.
Yeah.
Louise woke up at 7 a.m. today, and I was just like, please, don't do this to me. Do not wake up right now. She woke up, and I was like, okay, maybe I can get her to go back, because she was kind of just like still in a daze. And I'm like, don't do it. Don't you wake up. Mom's not ready. And she was just like, oh, hello. Good morning. I'm ready to get up. So you're ready to get up. And I'm like, maybe I can get her to watch Clifford the Puppy Days show for a little bit in her pack and play. She watched it for like 10 minutes. And then I heard Addington and Zoe up. And I'm like, well, I guess we're starting our day at 7. They used to sleep in, or it seemed like they did, but with time change, they never adjusted. They're just like still on their time schedule. And the parents have to just be miserable at 7 in the morning. And then last night, after she woke up and wanted to be fed, I took her up there and I had to go to the restroom. So like I had her and I'm like going to the restroom and she woke up and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go get my Pop-Tart then. And so I got my Pop-Tart and my water with her and she just sat in bed with me and ate the Pop-Tart. She had like a little midnight snack with me and she's never done that before, but she was just loving it. So that was our night last night. And then she wakes up at 7 and I'm like, please go back to bed. Just give me 30 minutes. Give me 30 minutes. If I know I have to wake up in 30 minutes, I'll just like get a really good deep sleep in and feel so much better.
Yeah.
But I feel like daylight savings is just torture. It's torture for parents. It's a punishment for having kids. Here, you have beautiful kids who don't understand time change. I mean, I don't understand time change. How are toddlers going to figure it out? Let's just have you wake up an hour earlier and go to sleep an hour later.
Mm.
But it's my fault because I've been staying up late on lives. I'm probably gonna maybe do like 20 more minutes or like a little bit. I don't want to push it too close because I don't want her to wake up again. And I still need to get my Pop-Tart in.
Yeah.
That's my advice. You've got your Monster drink and I eat a Pop-Tart every night.
Well, I'm not doing monsters anymore. The problem is I have a hard time finding the creamer for my coffee.
Oh yeah. Is it like a special flavor? Is
It's
it a
Dunkin'
goat?
Donuts extra creamy.
That sounds good.
I used to, with my creamer, add sugar to sweeten it up. Ever since I switched over to this, I don't need sugar.
My dad, he makes coffee like hot chocolate, and so that's how I learned how to have coffee. And so I used to drink coffee. I had like a short stint drinking coffee. Like it was maybe like 2 months of my life that I would drink coffee. But
Yeah.
it wasn't coffee by the time I was done with it. I would put like a ton of chocolate syrup in there, and then I would put a ton of creamer and milk and sugar. By the time I was done with it, it did not resemble coffee whatsoever. So I'm not really sure you could say that I ever really did have coffee because it was hot chocolate at that point. I like it super sweet and chocolatey. If I go to Starbucks, which is not ever, but if someone goes there, like my parents, they really like Starbucks. And so sometimes when I'm with them and they're like, "Hey Beth, do you want something?" And I'm like, "No, I'm fine." And they want to give me something, they'll get me a kid's hot chocolate with extra whipped cream because that's what I like. For the 5-year-old.
But yeah.
I think
So
tomorrow.
we could go into Starbucks.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Oh, I opened TikTok and it started blaring in my ear.
I hate when that my volume is up and I don't expect it. But I can't. It's not like right in my ear. I feel like I would pee myself if that happened.
Well, one part is not in the ear.
Mhm.
That's the cochlear. This is my hearing aid.
Oh, okay.
So I was picking up Kathy's washing machine.
Yeah.
It was driving my cochlear crazy. I'm like, what is that?
That clacking sound. Clack,
Yeah,
clack, clack, clack.
I mute her side, and then I don't hear it in my shop. But as soon as I click it on, I'm like, something is going on her side.
Was my music bothering you last night when I had it in the background? Because I watched the part of the live just to see, because I wanted to scroll to the very end to see like when we press end stream, does it end right away, or is there like But then I heard the music was a lot louder than I thought it was. So I was hoping that it wasn't bothering you while you were working.
Mm-mm.
It wasn't loud
No,
on your
it
end?
wasn't
Okay.
loud enough for me to hear it.
Okay. My allergies are like really getting to me down here. Maybe it was because Buddy just came up here and he was rolling around outside. But my nose is itching. Let's see. I'm going to go onto my Facebook. Let's see if I can find some pictures of the kiddos or something fun to share. Let's see. Let's go
I don't know
into
if I told you. If you ever see, and I'm gonna tell everybody else, if you ever see Wolf Phoenix 12, that's my kiddo.
Aw.
She wants to start a YouTube, and I told her it's too young. She's only 9, so she wants to do like makeup YouTube channel.
Oh, that'd be fun. Does she like doing makeup? I mean, of course she would like to if she wanted to do that, but does she
Yeah,
do makeup a lot?
when we're not at going to school.
What kind of makeup does she do? Like, because I know there's like special
But
effects
she hasn't for a
makeup and
while. She hasn't done any for a while because with the Catholic school, you can't wear makeup.
oh, that makes sense.
Just like they can't wear their own clothes unless it's Jean Day.
My kiddos, they like to watch YouTube because they have like there's a lot of unopenings and stuff like that they like to watch of like toys and stuff. And they have found goody goods. So they have found where my videos are because after I post them, Austin and I will like watch them to see if I like missed any like mistakes or like any editing or whatever. And Austin just likes to watch them with me. He's like, "Is it up? I'll watch it with you." And so they know what my logo is on on YouTube, and they'll turn it on and they'll just laugh. They'll be like, goody goods," and I'm like, "Turn it off, turn it off," and because I just get so like, I was like, "Turn it off, I can't watch it." But they were doing it one night when my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law and her sister, they were all over. And Addington had the remote, and he was turning on my video and turning it up all the way up and laughing. And I'm like, "Turn it off, turn it off, you're embarrassing me, turn it off," because there's so many people there. I'm like, I don't want to be watching my video like in front of you guys, like, turn it off. And he was just running around with the remote, not letting me turn it off, just giggling so hard. Hi, Crystal. He's such a punk. He does it all the time now, and he'll be like, "I'm not going to turn it off, you tell me I'm not going to turn it off." He's just such a goober.
Yeah.
Such a goober. Let's see if I can find. I'm gonna screen share because I found some of our pictures from like right after Louise was born, and so I have some more pictures of like the family. Let's see if I can find one of like all of us. There's Louise. She was 5 days old. 5 days old in that photo. Trying to exit out. I'm not really good with technology.
Melissa says she just realized that she has a live tomorrow at noon.
Ooh, I'll be watching. There's the 3 of them together. And they were little. Let's see if I can find. Zoe used to do this thing called eyebrows. Do you see those eyebrows? So, for the longest time, she would do this thing and we would say, "Zoe, eyebrows." And like in an instant, she'd go, and she would just give eyebrows to whoever. And then she'd go, big smile. She would go, and she's like the most expressive little child, but her little face is just like, she used to do that all the time. I miss Louise being that little. Ugh. I could have 1,000 babies and just never be done. My husband's like, if I agreed to a fourth, you would want a fifth, and a sixth, and a seventh, because how could you not just, like, babies are just so fun and cute. Being a woman is very, very tricky. Because I feel like we're just getting over the hump. She's still not even sleeping throughout the whole night. And I'm like, oh, we could maybe have another one. I would be a zombie. I would not even be left. I would just wither away.
Was having issues, couldn't figure out why my block. One of them looks like it's curved. Oh man.
Oh no.
So what I did was trimmed it down so that I can fix it.
Crafty solution. Half of quilting is fudging. Figuring out a way to...
Of course, shouldn't put my woman on that.
Ooh, here's one. So my mother-in-law gave me... She pieced quilts out of her dad's clothes for Austin's brother, for Addie, and for Austin's cousins. And this was when I was doing the free motion quilting. And this is what I did on one. This was like right when I started. On my brother. And I used like a yellow thread. It's still in my armoire. I have to finish it. I did like a whole bunch and then just stopped. Let's see if I, like, there we go. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
I was so proud of that. And then I had totally underestimated how much time it would take to do everything else. And I had just started, so like here, this area is going to be problematic. I'm going to have to start here and like push it out. I'm not sure how my mother-in-law basted it. This was like right when I started, so I had like no idea what I was doing. I did this one free motion quilting too.
Wow.
Courtney, you
I
got
don't know
mail.
what Melissa's talking about. Other than my friend.
Is it your book?
Will be here tomorrow.
Courtney, you got mail.
Yeah.
What is that?
What are you talking about, Melissa?
Did she email you or something?
I didn't see an email.
She might have messaged you, maybe?
No. That was not my screen sharing, though.
Do you have it up?
You had your notification going on. Your notification kept going at the bottom of your screen for your Facebook.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I think it was from this post my local middle school. There's a class full of artifacts. This teacher has collected like artifacts like really, really old, and his whole classroom is full of stuff. Let me see if I can find a picture, but he found this what's it called? It's called a parlor stove, an 1890s parlor stove. And he had posted on Facebook trying to raise money so that he could get it for the classroom, because he does like, he's such a, I never took that class in middle school. You had to sign up and like get accepted, but everyone wanted to take this class. But he raised the money and he got the 1980s, or hold on, was it 1890s? 1890s parlor stove. And Let's see if he raised over $900 to get it.
Hey, Melissa,
I
you
wonder
got
if he has a
something weird on your YouTube post from this morning. You just posted like 21 minutes ago.
mine.
Not you, Melissa. On your YouTube channel that she just posted Messy Desk Chat this morning. All in Spanish with a weird link to a website.
I got something similar to that too.
Mm-hmm.
I have to block. Can you block things on YouTube?
She knows more than I do.
Well, it is 11:30. Courtney, you keep getting me in trouble. I make my for the longest time before YouTube lives with you, I would try and get in bed by 10 so I could have my Pop-Tart. But I had too much fun talking with you and
Yeah.
Melissa, Kathy, and Crystal. Nancy was on here earlier. Stephanie, Delia. Man, we have too many fun people to talk to be in bed by 10. Oh, that looks so good. I love that. Those polka dots are so fun. You're making me like that line even more than I did before. Because
I
I'm
believe
like,
your friend at the KC Makers had it too.
oh yeah, she's got I'm just
You gotta come up
obsessed
there
with
and get
line.
more. I bought this
You
from the
should.
very start.
We should meet up there. I love going. I want to go there and get some glide thread for my Juki so that I can do the quilting on the cutie frame. Because I don't want to use my RFL thread. I want to get some glide and do that because I want to save my RFL thread for not doing that, if that makes sense. I want to save it. Get a giant spool so I don't have to change the top thread.
Oh, Crystal wants to know what I'm making. Pineapple blocks.
Magic. She's making magic.
Yeah.
Those are going to be so pretty all together in a quilt.
Mm-hmm. With the pussycats I did.
I think that one's my favorite one so far.
Still got
That
more to go.
that pink one.
Kathy was
All
asking
of them
me
are pretty.
how big I was going to go, and I said, I'm probably going to go until I run out of the fabric.
Yeah.
No waste of tulip pea.
Well, when you finish it, get into your Instagram and tag Tula, and she'll probably share it on her page.
Yeah.
How cool would that be?
Yeah, that would be amazing. I don't know what you meant, Melissa. You said I got mail to me. I still don't get that one. Although I gotta go through my sewing room and through some of my fabrics. Oh, you sent me an email?
This table is my problematic area by my crate. I just put all of my crap on there, and it's not even a table anymore. I can't even use it as a table. There's just.
Well, I'm actually going through my fabric so I can send Kathy some fabric.
Oh, that'd be fun.
She says she was running out of fabric, and so, you want me to show it up there, Melissa? She sent me an email, so I love it.
Is it a picture?
Mm-hmm. I was asking her if she wants me to show it up there. Sure. I'm gonna use my computer. Let me get in the email first.
Yeah, I like the screen share because it's bigger, and I think people in the comments can see it easier too.
Mm-hmm.
My feathers stink. You can show it. Oh, shush. I'm sure they are beautiful.
Here we go. Hey,
I think they
they
are
don't
beautiful.
stink. Stop
Don't
saying
say
that,
that.
Melissa. Okay, you're gonna have to. I don't know.
Okay. I see.
Okay, here we go.
Oh my goodness.
I love
That's
it.
what you say that those stink? Are you serious? Those are gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Is there a way that you can like zoom in on it a little bit?
I should be able to.
There you go. That looks so good. The piecing and the quilting and everything.
Yeah.
Good job.
All right, back to me. It's beautiful.
Good job. Well done. Well
Yes.
done.
We all have
That
to
is,
start somewhere.
we do. I feel like that's a great place to start too. That looks
You're
so
welcome,
good.
Melissa.
Well, you should be really proud of that. Don't say they stink.
Yeah.
Be like, these are my feathers and I'm proud of them. They look really good.
Plus, your feathers are supposed to be your unique feathers, not have to be perfect as other people's feathers.
Yeah.
That's how I was taught. I can tell you that brown quilt, that's not the perfect feathers. Some of them were a little smaller, some were bigger. I just made it.
I think as
That's
long as you're having fun with it and you're actually getting something done, you're getting your whipped work done and your UFO finished, and you like it and it sticks your quilt together, then you're checking all the boxes. I think all the feathers look good.
It's okay. It's your unique creativity.
I did not see any square feathers at all. I will tell you that.
I didn't either. You see those two crosses above my head?
Mm-hmm.
One's from Mexico, the pink one.
Oh, cool.
I'll take you closer so you guys can see it. I bought this in Mexico.
Oh, that's really pretty.
That pink one here.
I love that.
My mom bought this one because of our theme of purple. So
I like those. My mother-in-law collects crosses, and so every time we would see crosses, we would buy them for her because she had like a whole wall in their old house in the kitchen. And it got to the point where she was like, okay, she had too many and she didn't have enough wall space. So we had to stop buying her crosses, but she has a ton. She collects them. I used to collect snow globes. I had a ton.
I used to do porcelain dolls.
Porcelain.
I have about 2 huge, long, about that big, grown up, even Barbies. Okay, I was the strangest kid. If this Barbie was not a simple Barbie, and it was like a birthday Barbie, I will not open the box. My great grandma started the tradition of porcelain dolls. I was the first one she did it to. And so when she passed away, my grandma continued it till I hit high school. And some of my other family members did it too. And now my grandma, which is my daughter's Gigi, is doing it for her and
Aww.
her other granddaughter.
That's really sweet that you guys are carrying on the tradition.
Yeah.
I did the snow globes, and I, for a while, was a huge bird nerd. I still have all my bird books from when I was younger. I would watch the birds with my grandmother at their house. They had a giant tree in the front of their yard, and they had a bunch of bird feeders, and we'd watch them. But my grandpa, he would go fishing a lot, and he would find feathers on the ground, and he would like disinfect them. And I collected bird feathers. I had like a whole bag full of different bird feathers, and
Mhm.
that was just like the coolest thing every time he would give me one.
Yeah.
Every time I hear water, I'm like, oh my gosh, it sounds like someone's peeing. Like, is there a dog peeing somewhere? And it's just our fish tank.
Yeah.
Every single time, though, I'm like, who's peeing?
Yeah. Trying to.
Well, I think.
So what
Oh,
I'm trying to do is use a planner so I don't like make sure I have a set schedule for lives and that my family knows I ain't coming to dinner that day. For the
I'm
last two
busy.
nights I haven't been over there. It's just that either I eat late and then I'm not hungry to eat dinner, or
Yeah.
we're eating out. So tonight was pizza. Greasy food. I have to be careful with greasy food.
Heartburn?
No, I don't have a gallbladder anymore.
Oh.
So
I've.
greasy food. I've been okay with coffee because, like, if I've gone, I'm gonna gross out. But if I don't go for a few days, coffee helps it.
Yeah.
But other than that, greasy food hits it hard. No.
That's interesting that you mentioned that because I thought that I was having gallbladder issues. Like a few weeks ago before like us we all got sick. I thought it was gallbladder because I had like a bunch of episodes where I was just like having stabbing pain in my stomach, and it would always happen at night, and it'd always be after greasy food. But then this round, because like before this one, like the previous one, before then, I was gonna go get it checked out and go to the hospital because it's like stabbing pain and then like nausea and vomiting and you know, and but this previous time, like I had an episode and then I went to the urgent care or ER the next night, and I thought that it was my gallbladder, and I was telling them, and they were telling me that it was heartburn or GERD. And I was like, it's not GERD. I've had heartburn. I know what that feels like. It's like in your chest. I'm having
Yeah.
like stabbing pains, and I had heartburn with all 3 pregnancies. So I was like, it's not GERD. I know it. But then, the next day Zoe started puking, and then everyone else started puking in the house. So I was like, maybe it's the stomach flu. But it's it it's happened several times, and I do think I have gallbladder problems. But they told me it was GERD, and they gave me heartburn medication. So
Yeah. Melissa says it does, but you get it checked. If you have odd pain, get it checked early. And that is very true. I didn't have mine checked. I had it for a month. I was in pain.
oof,
Couldn't eat, couldn't do anything. And my mom would fill I'll do small portions to eat with my family. And my mom would turn around and scoop more on my plate. I'm like, I didn't want more.
yeah,
And finally, I went to my doctor and he said, we're going to do this test, and all that. And then I went to a specialist at my husband's work hospital, and he took it out, and it was enlarged.
oh my
And he said,
gosh,
"That good thing we got it now, before it went worse."
yeah. Melissa says, I had my gallbladder out in 2011, then had similar pain last year, 6 months of antibiotics, then major surgery to correct, I'm not even going to say that word, diverticulitis.
Yeah,
I probably totally butchered that, but
you said it right.
they did 2 tests. So I went to the ER that night, and then they gave me heartburn medication. So I scheduled something with my primary care physician, and I said, listen, I went in and I had all these symptoms, and they told me that it was heartburn, and I know it's not heartburn. Like, it is very, very, very painful. Heartburn's like just like, for the most part, just discomfort. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like painful. Like, it doesn't feel good, but it's not like you're like, ooh, make it stop. I mean, you want it to stop, but you know what I mean. And they did 2 tests. They did a test to see if it was a stomach ulcer, and then they did another one for the gallbladder. And I guess like none of them came back with it being. So I don't know if like I have to go to like a specialist if it happens again. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. So I wasn't like documenting anything, but the night before it happened, or like the night of, I had a hot dog at my in-laws, and like I was reading it, and my nurse friend was like, well, heartburn is like spicy and acidic food, and I don't eat spicy or acidic food. So even in the past, that wouldn't have been it. But greasy and like fatty foods, yeah, I eat those. And I had it that night, and she said that the gallbladder always acts up at night. Crystal said I had vomiting and didn't feel good, and it was gallbladder and had a stone stuck in it. And that's what I think. Maybe I had a stone and it was passing, because it's happened several times. And so like before then, I thought we all had COVID. Like 2 weeks before we all got the stomach bug, because I had it. It started at like 1 or 2 in the morning, stabbing pains, and then extreme nausea. Like I was so nauseous and like vomiting and diarrhea. Can we even say diarrhea on YouTube? But
Yeah.
We're being honest tonight. So
I think
yeah.
everybody in the chat would rather us be honest than hiding things. Even if it grosses us out.
All the liquids were happening. So I don't know. I'm convinced that it was gallbladder, but I've had no validation from anyone on whether that's the case or not. So,
Well,
and there's been suspicious sicknesses close. Sorry, what?
They did an ultrasound on it. Couldn't find it. I had to go do a different procedure. I had to lay in the machine, do something, and the machine was doing a scan on my stomach.
Was that painful?
And that's when they caught it. And plus, they had to put some medicine in me.
Because that's what was frustrating. Because when I went to the primary care physician, I was going in there with, and again, we talked about this the other night. I'm not a good advocate, like a self-advocator when it comes to medical professionals. You all know this about me. So my husband, being Austin, hyping me up. Beth, just stand up for yourself. Say that you'd like to figure it out. Say you know it's not heartburn. Do not get backed into a corner. And so I'm like going into my appointment, and I'm like dead certain I'm gonna ask to get a scan. I want to know, like, I just want to know absolute if it's gallbladder or not, because I don't want this to happen again. And the doctor was like, well, let's try and avoid doing scans because they're expensive. So I did not advocate for myself, and I walked out of the appointment with my head down low. And Austin's like, did you get a scan? I'm like, nope, don't talk about it. Crystal said, how about even ulcers? They did 2 tests. So they did a test where I like breathed into a bag and then drank something that was kind of like the glucose test that they do for when you're pregnant. It tasted just like that. It was like very sugary. And then I had to wait 15 minutes, and then I had to blow into the bag again. And then they did a blood test, and they said there wasn't any ulcers. And they didn't say anything about, they said the gallbladder, there was nothing there. So maybe I passed a stone when I was having the pain. I don't know how that works. Yeah. Melissa said, did they give you the nuclear stuff and make it react to your gallbladder? That might be what I just mentioned. Or to you.
I think so. I'm not sure. Because you had to like, literally, you can breathe normal. It's not like an MRI. So half your body is under the machine.
Yeah.
And your arms have to be out. And so they did all that. And
so now that you don't have a gallbladder, you said that you can't eat certain things still. So
they
like,
say
what does
you
that
still have issues with it without having a gallbladder there.
Really? Crystal, you were constipated. Just kidding, LOL.
But yeah.
I hope
Hey,
not. I hope
Sandra, you
that's
just
not
missed
what.
out on the bunch of conversation.
Sandra, you did not miss out on anything. We're talking about some nasty stuff.
No.
I hope not. I drink a lot of water. I don't know what it was. And then I was like, I was on this like random, I was like trying to figure out what the heck it was. I thought gallbladder. I thought maybe stomach ulcer, but I thought a stomach ulcer because I had been drinking Gatorades like during that recent time. Like I was drinking Gatorades, and I remember hearing this story like years ago that people who drink a lot of Gatorade get like stomach ulcers or something. So then I was like, it's because I was drinking Gatorade. Um and I have a stomach ulcer or something. So I don't know. It's a mystery. Who even knows? Maybe I was constipated, Crystal. You might have been right. But
Well,
it was
it's
really
just that
painful.
my mom likes to eat out a lot because we try to help my other mom not have to cook as much.
Mhm.
If I eat every day of eating out, can't stand it. So
Crystal said, or Sandra said, I am missing my gallbladder. And Crystal says, after I had gallbladder removed, I can eat greasy foods now. Interesting.
yes,
Because,
it's just if I eat too many days in a row of the greasy food, it makes me nauseous of it. So for the
Sandra
last
said, I had
nights,
my gallbladder removed and I have problems with foods. So I guess it's 50-50.
mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I had to say something to be funny. I appreciate it,
You're
Crystal.
fine.
Anytime you want to make us laugh, you just say it. I don't care if it's poop related or not. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
I laughed.
But yeah.
Yeah, but so I went to the ER that night, and then a week later I cut my finger, and I'm walking into the same ER, and I'm like, these people probably think I'm insane. Like, weren't you here just the other day? Get out of here. And I'm like holding my finger with like a paper towel, and they're like, all right, what do you need? I'm like, I cut myself while I was sewing. I'm like, I really hope they don't recognize me. We had to wear masks. So I was like, okay, if this was like maskless life, they'd be like, look at this bozo coming in here. It's the second time she's been here this month, cutting herself with a rotary cutter. It was actually pretty cool because the nurse that I had told her what I had done. She was like, well, how'd you do that? And I was like, well, I was cutting with my rotary cutter and I wasn't really being that smart. And she was like, oh, so you quilt? And I'm like, yeah. And she was like, I want to retire and quilt. And she's never made a quilt, but she wants to retire and her friend has taught her how to quilt. And I said, you get on it. You get on it and you quilt. But she works nights, so I'm sure when she gets home, she's sleeping during the day. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you retire and you quilt your little heart out. You've earned it because nursing's so hard. And anything in the medical field, CNA, CMA, what you did, that's a lot of work.
It
And
was.
it's some people are not that nice either because people are just not very nice sometimes.
That's what I bought.
Oh
The
yay!
farm girl vintage and
Is
some
that
thread
our
from the
Phil?
machine. When my oldest was little, I took him to the ER 4 times in one day. What did he do to go there? And
Did you meet
Crystal
your
said,
deductible?
you should have seen me when I walked in after I cut my finger too. When I walked into the emergency room. LOL.
It's literally the walk of shame. And then they ask you because they obviously need to know why you're there, and you're like, I don't even want to say it. I cut
Yeah.
myself. My rotary
Well,
cutter.
2019, I went to the ER almost every month. And then
Oh my
finally, one
goodness.
month, I went like 4 times. And so it's bad. I go to the ER that my husband works. So finally, the last time I was in that ER, and this was my 10 centimeter cyst, that I didn't know it was a 10 centimeter. And yeah,
Oh.
it took him like forever. And then my husband, first of all, didn't ask me if I have ever had morphine in my system before. Never had morphine. We always try to stay away from it because we weren't sure how I'd react to it,
Aren't you
especially
allergic?
already
Didn't
getting
you say
allergic.
you're allergic?
I'm allergic to penicillin,
Oh, okay.
and Percocet is the only one that made me sick.
Crystal or Melissa said, "Thank God we were military. Good insurance." And then um, Crystal said, "I was so shook up. I thought I cut off the tip of my finger, and I was in so much shock." As you should be.
Yeah. And
Shock is the word.
Melissa says I'm the one that's allergic to morphine.
Okay, yeah, because I remember we talked about it. I was like, someone said they were
Yeah.
allergic to morphine. You're penicillin, she's morphine.
I can't take Percocet
Um,
because they make me puke for no reason.
yeah, those make me queasy too. They gave me those after the C-sections, and I couldn't do that. Sandra, I avoid doctors as well. I'm on your team. I had to find, okay, so the only reason why I had a primary care physician to go see after the gallbladder thing was because I went in for my wrist. So I have a ganglion cyst like right on my wrist. It's huge. It doesn't look huge. The lighting is deceiving because I'm really pale, but it's giant and I thought it was a bone like coming out of my wrist. And so I had to find a primary care physician. It's actually someone that my dad sees. So I tried, he was the one that could get me in quick enough. So I was going to get surgery to remove this because it's actually pretty painful. And like if I fall on it or like weight or like moving it, it's all weird. So that's the only reason why I had a primary care physician. I don't go to doctors. I don't go ever. I don't go to doctors. I just can't do it. And that's why I'm so bad at advocating for myself because I don't want to be there in the first place.
Crystal says I did it after 12 a.m. and forgot one strip of material, so I had to cut it before bed. And so they asked what I did, and I tried to explain, and they couldn't figure out how I did it.
Oh
Ew.
my God.
And
And you know what's funny? Oh, sorry. You go.
Melissa says, did you get shots in the hip after C-section?
I don't know.
I think we both, because I didn't.
No. Sandra said, my hubby had one of them on his wrist. Yeah, my dad has one like right here. But yeah, I just remember I've had pain in this wrist for a while. And I remember one day I was like in the kitchen and I'm like just looking at it. And I was like, whoa, that looks weird. I wonder how long that's been there. But Crystal, I think it's funny. I did it after 12 a.m. and forgot. So I had to cut it before bed. I literally was not going to sew that night. I was in bed. I was comfy up. I was not going to go to the basement. And Austin was like, hey, you going to go sew? And I'm like, no, it's 8:30. It's already like 10 o'clock in my mind. I'm not going to go downstairs. And so then I ended up going downstairs. I was going to go to bed. I could have saved my finger if I would have just followed my intuition and stayed my ass in bed.
Yeah.
But no, I had to be a hero and come down here and do some work. I still have knots in my hips from mine. Oh my, is it like pain medicine that they gave you in your hips?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they changed things even from like my first to Louise. So after Addington, they gave me like Percocet or some like, I think it was like Oxy, something really strong. They gave me really strong pain medication. And then after Zoe, they did like a drip. So they had something like in my IV. And then for Louise, they only had like after the C-section for like take home prescription, it was just like a really, really big ibuprofen. They have totally changed their pain medicine because I think
They're trying to lower
their
down the
policies
rate
just
of the
changed.
OBD.
Yeah. So the pain medication is like I think it's constantly changing, but now it's to the point where it's just, here's some ibuprofen. Take some
I
of
had
this.
Norcos after Isabella.
You had what?
Norcos,
Oh, I don't even know.
which is what I'm on right now. So I gotta show you something.
Delight.
You can see it.
Oh, cool.
That is my Bernina stitch regulator.
Oh, nice. Do you use it?
Yeah, I have 2 of them now. But I don't use it if I'm quilting on the big machine. If it's something small, I probably would use it.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm going to have so much to learn once that comes in the mail. Crystal says, me too. I thought I wasn't going to either, but something told me I had to cut last strip, and the ruler slipped, and I cut off the tip of my finger with the 60mm blade. See, we need to listen to our voices, Crystal, up there. They're trying to save us from some heartache. Because, same. I told my, I'm not getting out of this bed. I'm laying down. I need to go to sleep. And the funny thing was, I was on a video call with my friend, and she was telling a joke. So she's in Canada. She's not even in the United States. And she was saying that her oldest son is like obsessed with Donald Trump. Just loves Donald Trump and like was dressing like him and like, I don't know. I was laughing because it was like a joke, you know. I thought it was funny. And then, you know, I was cutting with my add a quarter and it slipped. And my hands were in the wrong position, but it was not a 60mm blade. And I took this Band-Aid off today and peeked under the hood, and things are not looking good still. It's gross. So I don't know when it's gonna do it. Courtney, did you get any blocks done tonight? Sandra wants to know.
Started my 7th. Not any more than that.
Crystal says, how will it save us? My head says, get that project done. Ignore it. Sometimes we need rest. Listen to your body sometimes.
Yeah.
Like tonight, I've not sewn a single thing. That's so not like me. I'm literally sitting here just having a good time chatting with you guys. I cut all my templates out. That was my goal. I always just like make small goals. I try and like chunk it up into little portions, and then if I meet those goals, then I just take a break in between because it saves me from like getting overwhelmed and burnt out, because we don't want that. So I'm enjoying myself tonight. Tomorrow I'll do some sewing during Courtney's live. I'll listen to what you've got going on, and then Melissa, when you're live tomorrow at noon, I'll watch on the TV during naps or watch at lunch. Lunch and naps it's always like a range of time. Melissa said, oh, Sandra said, I finished the blanket stitch on my Dresden plate.
Awesome.
Good job, Sandra. And then Melissa said, I made 4 Dresdens, patched up batting for it, quilted it, and put a flange binding on it. Of course, it's 28 by 28. You were impressive. I was like, how did you do all of that? You still did a lot, even for it being 28 by 28. But I was reading that like, how in the heck did you do all that, Melissa? Crystal says, I had to have this one like medicated gauze pad on my finger. Then it was so wrapped in a big mess of more gauze than a wrap. That's what I had. So they like did this little cone thing, and it had gauze, and it like went on my finger, and then they twisted it, and then it went on my finger, and they twisted it. And then now I still have, I would take it off, but I'm not going to do that to you guys. But I still have that thing on there. It was like a cellulose thing that like dissolved into my skin, like into the wound. And they said to like not pick at it or get it wet because then it'll dissolve away, and then basically your wound is open still. So I don't know what the heck to do. It's like a surprise. Jack. Melissa said cocaine. Hey, whatever gets it done, Melissa. I applaud your creativity. That is true dedication.
So when I got my long arm and all, they were having a 125-year anniversary. So this was my golden ruler fret. What?
Guys, I'm legit scared. I'm listening to what you said, but I'm getting really quiet because I'm like right by my window and my backyard is like right there, and I heard something like big like move out there, and there's no wind or storms going on, and now I'm real freaked. I'm real freaked out right now. I don't want to look out the window.
That's the gold.
Oh, that's so pretty. Is that Wonderville?
No, this is Metler.
Oh, Metler. Duh. I'm dumb.
So that they gave me a gold ruler fit with the adjustable. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And I used it. You could tell. I lost all my gold pieces on it
All your little. Oh yeah.
because of doing all the ruler work.
Guys, I'm still shooketh. I'm like, do I look out there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get my rotary blade. See, the thing is, if it's someone out there, they have no idea that there's a quilter on the other side of this window. I've got rotary blades. I've got all the sharp tools to defend myself. I've got a whole thing of
Look at
pins.
Melissa's comment.
That is a joke. Crystal said, believe it happened in October, but it still gets tender. Melissa said, if it's a person, you may scare them off. If it's a critter, you'd rather know. Either way, if you're scared, call the popo. No, Melissa, I can't look. God, I'm like so scared to be by the window right now. Stop it, Crystal. No.
I can't say that because I get people next door to me.
I'm so scared. Okay, I'm going to check my ring. Ha, there's a way to get around it. I have a ring out there. I'm going to turn the light on and see like what the heck is going on out there. Because I'm going to shit my pants. Like, I'm getting real scared over here. No. Okay, here we go. Because I still hear some noises out there. We have like a fenced-in backyard, so if it's a person, then they put a lot of effort into getting in through our fence, but you guys are scaring me. Okay, here we go. Stop it.
Stop!
Crystal! What is going on here? Alright, I've got my camera on. I don't see anything out there. Get the heebie-jeebies, guys. Crystal.
It's just weird because my ring thing goes off every time we're on live. So far, it hasn't gone off once tonight.
Haha. Expose yourself, beast. I turned my lights on. I swear I heard something. I wonder if it's like a squirrel or something, or like a bunny, you know? See, I'm the one who would let them hear me cock the 12 gauge while I walk out the door screaming, "You want some of this?" Melissa, you're my favorite. You and Crystal crack me up.
Melissa, I was outside doing stuff, and my husband gets on the ring doorbell, and I didn't know he did it. And he spoke. It scared the crap out of me.
Crystal, I would do that, but I would be that would be more of a I can't think of the word. It would be more threatening towards myself. If I took a rotary blade instead, I would harm myself before I did anything else, someone else. I do not have a good track record lately with that. I don't see any like raccoons or anything, but I heard something, and I'm shooketh because I don't see anybody unless they're hiding by the trampoline. Oh, that freaks me out. And I don't cut paper with my fabric scissors, so you know I'll get you. You guys are so silly. So silly. Oh my goodness. Do some
There's
kung
some
fu.
kung fu on it.
Kung fu.
Maybe the
Wind blew
wind
a
blew
tree.
a tree branch against the house.
I don't know. I think there's some critters out there because I don't know what that sound was, but it was something substantial had to have like gone into like the toy bucket or something.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's not a peeping Tom. I mean, they're not really getting a great show. Wrong house, buddy. There's got to be a different house. I'm just sitting here in my pajamas. Well, I can tell you, Courtney's she shed isn't hooked to the house. I would not go back in the dark.
I have a light
Sandra.
on the porch.
I was afraid of the dark and sleeping in my house by myself when I was first married.
So
I would be camping in the she shed. No,
well,
I'm like, wrong house. But it's for a different reason.
So when I first got my German Shepherd, Anna, well, these dogs were $400 a piece. And when we got our second one, I was like, I can't see them in the dark. And this is before we got the she shed. I had called the electricity company and I said, can you please come put the light into my yard so that I can see them? So I have a really bright light. I have an LED light on that shines all over my yard.
For the dogs, do you have them on their leash or on their collars?
They have their collars, but they have a kennel when they're outside during the day.
Oh.
It's just at night. And this is before we knew we were going to get a kennel. I just wanted to be able to see them because they weren't jumping the fence, the 4-foot fence for the longest time.
Yeah.
And now we have our 4-foot. So the shed took half of the fence line. So we moved those panels over to the 4-foot fence, took our old panels from the old dog kennel, and lined them all the way around so that they can't get out. But
are they Houdinis? They're going to figure some way out.
It keeps a lot of people out. They try to climb it and they fall. Now I'm trying to look at new chairs. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. Thank you for sharing, Beth. When we lived in Hawaii, the windows that we had didn't have screens. So they were like glass, like shutters that you could like close like this.
Yeah.
And they didn't have screens. So you could like put your hand through it. And one night our house was like this. And then we had a shed and like a walkway, and my room like was on the outside of the house. So like I could see the walkway. And one night my sister she came into my room because she was like so heebie-jeebied out because there was someone like in the walkway outside like looking into our rooms, and there were no screens in Hawaii. What the hell are they doing in Hawaii? Put some screens on your window. We need that extra security. But we were like so freaked out because there was someone like right outside of our window at night one time. I'm like hoping I'm not scaring you guys all. You guys should be able to sleep. Melissa says, I took a self-defense class in my 20s. Our final exam was to defend ourselves against the instructor. He told me, I feel sorry for the mugger who meets you in a dark alley. Especially if you have that shotgun. You are not messing around. I love that. I need to take one of those. My dad, he was in the Navy. I know you've got Navy too in your family, but he was always like, be prepped for the worst. Like he was always like trying to like prepare me and my sister for the worst. He's like, don't be on your phone, don't like park in parking garages, lock your car as soon as you get in your car when you're in there. They always look for people who aren't paying attention. Always know where all of the exits are in every store you go to in case there's an emergency. He was like literally, I think him paired with the reason, like paired with my mom who constantly watched Dateline and like all of the crime shows growing up, is what like caused me to never want to go on cruises or like go be like a normal person, because I'm always like prepared and then know like all the craziness that has happened in the world, all the crimes. Whew. I've never been a little woman. I was 5'8" and 200 pounds at the time. I don't ever play when it comes to defending me and mine. As you shouldn't. Oh no. Oh no. Sandra
Oh,
says,
no.
right after I got married, there was a prowler that after hubby went to work tried to get into the house. Nobody would stay with me after the prowler would show up. The cops wouldn't get out of their cars either. Sandra! That's crazy. What happened with that? You can't leave us at the story there.
Yeah. Well,
That's
that was part of the reason why we have the German Shepherds.
mm-hmm.
He was working
Well,
nights at the time. I was put off because of my back.
yeah.
And I said, I don't want to be at home by myself. I know literally, I could walk across the street and be with my parents. Why would I want to do that when I want something with me? Anna was little and was in kennel, but now it was only the trainer, the potty train issue to keep her from
Yeah.
going in the house. And
Well,
we
when
didn't do that with our last two, which is a bad idea. So Florida has a
I don't know
standard.
if Kansas
Huh?
does. Does Kansas have that? Stand your ground law?
I don't know.
I
But I
feel like they
do know
do.
my husband has guns in the house.
Yeah.
After hiding from the kid.
I feel like Florida and Kansas, I think a lot of people have guns in their house in those states. Sandra, I packed a gun everywhere I went, and finally he stopped coming by, and we moved right after. Oh my goodness, Sandra. That's
That's
terrifying.
crazy.
Good thing you were able to
You shouldn't
move and
have
get
to
out of
live
it.
like that.
That is so scary.
Yeah.
Crystal says, yikes. Yikes is
Mm.
right. Yeah, I'd be carrying a gun. I had like for the longest time, I had it was like a cat. It was a plastic cat, and the ears were super sharp, and it was kind of like a brass knuckles. You would like hold it.
Mhm.
So whenever I'd like work late when I was younger, I would always have that in my purse or like in my hand, or I'd put my keys like in between my hands just in case. Because I used to work at Goodwill before me and my husband got together, and there were it's kind of like in a sketchier part of town, and the parking lot was never well lit, and luckily like the coworkers, they would like walk me to my car, but I was always so scared to like go home at night because there were some really strange people that would come into the store. There was one time I was working, and there was this dude, and he wasn't shopping, like he wasn't actually looking at things. He was just like kind of like going around the store, and I was a cashier, and he was like staring at me, and he was like whistling at me, and like just being very very strange. Like it made me very very uncomfortable. Like he was whistling a lot and like trying to get my attention to talk to me. And so I told my manager, I was like, I do not feel good about this.
Yeah.
This guy's not shopping. He's literally in the women's section. What the hell's he gonna do in the women blouse section? I was like, I need to like go in the back of the store or somewhere. I feel very uncomfortable. But like stuff like that, I like am very alert. Like there's a lot of sex trafficking everywhere, and I'm just like, that's like my biggest fear. And now being a parent, like having kids that you want to like keep safe is just
Yeah.
terrifying. Like thank goodness for grocery pickup, because I don't have to like worry about losing them in a store, you know? Like we
Yeah.
always keep them in the cart close together, but I feel like anything can happen these days. It's so scary. Melissa said, we scared the cable guy the first time he came out. He came in the door and saw the 12 gauge sitting there. It's not for people. We've had bobcats and wild hogs out here. Sandra said, the cops told me if I shoot him and if he fell out, I would have to push him back in the window, but it was not fun watching him take his flashlight around the windows hunting for an unlatched window. Sandra, that's so scary. I'm so sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah.
We need to call Melissa next time and have her bring her self-defense and her 12 gauge. We'll defend you if it ever. Hopefully you never have to do that again, but that's very scary.
That is.
I
Sorry,
would.
I'm trying to multitask to decide what else to buy. So.
Well, I think that Louise is going to be waking up any minute for boobies because it's 12:16. Last night it was like right about 12. She's very consistent. She wakes up at like 12 and 4 for boobies still. She does not sleep through the night. So I think that I am going to get ahead of her this time. Instead of her getting up
Yeah.
now, I'm going to go to the restroom and get my unfrosted Pop-Tart. Not that that's where I store my Pop-Tarts. I'm going to go to the restroom, and then I'm going to go to the pantry and get my Pop-Tart, and then my water, and I'm going to have my snack and turn on my show.
Yeah.
Yes, she's going to need boobies. I heard her like a few minutes ago just kind of like make some noises, but she went back down. So it's a ticking time bomb situation. She'll be wanting boobies any minute now. So I don't mind sharing my Pop-Tart with her. I had a great night last night when I brought my Pop-Tart up and she had a few bites. But I'm going to like scarf it down in bed.
So, does your dogs like balls?
Yeah. There's a certain ball that we get.
These
Oh,
are the best
cool.
balls we ever bought for our puppies.
I've seen those. Our old neighbor at the apartment had those for his lab, and they're really good quality. Sandra says, "Have a good night." Melissa says, "No
sharing
sharing." I'll
tonight.
share with her. But if I can like eat it before, the thing was she woke up because I had to go to the restroom, and Austin came up, and he fell asleep in the bed, and I didn't want to wake him up, so I'm like, I have her attached to my boob, and I'm like walking to the bathroom, and then I'm like, well, she's already up now because she hears me going to the restroom and flushing the toilet, so I might as well go get my Pop-Tart. And then by the time I unpackaged it, I'm like, well, I might as well share with her. She can have some of this Pop-Tart with me. And she was so happy. She was like sitting in our bed and just like, she would take a little bite and just kind of smile. She was so happy. She's like, this is really fun. I get to like have a midnight snack with mom. I have the TV on. And because usually I'm in bed by the time that she's up at this time for milk. So I can just feed her before she like actually wakes up.
Yeah.
And she just goes right back to sleep. But she like woke up last night and then wouldn't go back to sleep.
So I'm going to head off on to bed because I got to get up in the morning.
Yeah, you have to go to the library.
So in the Catholic schools, instead of tuition, in order to pay your tuition, you have to do stewardship. So that's what I have to do.
Oh, cool.
So
Do
I
you
go
enjoy it? At least it's something you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And it seems like the kids respect you and aren't like crazy because you said that they listen to you pretty well. That's good.
I got one more summon day and then I'm done. Hopefully.
Well, you get your rest. Melissa and Sandra and Crystal
And everybody else.
Still on.
I don't think there's very many left.
Everybody else, if you haven't been commenting, you're just hanging out with us. Thanks for keeping us company. We had a really good time. I had a great time. I love talking with all of you guys. You guys are like my friends. You are my friends, but I feel like being able to like talk every night and get to know each other more. I'm not messing around with Melissa. Crystal was trying to scare me, and Sandra.
It was Crystal trying to mess with you more.
I know. I'm like, the next time I hear a noise out there, I'm just not going to say anything because my fears grew. My fears got worse because of Crystal.
That's why I did a light in the backyard because I didn't want to be able to. Because with that 4-foot fence, before we put all the 6-foot panels up, I was scared that somebody was going to jump over and take off. We've heard stories in our town that people would take the people's dogs and turn around and resell them to make money off of them after they stole
That
them.
happens. That happens here
Yeah,
too.
and that scared me with $1,200 in dogs.
Yeah.
All three of them were like $400 a piece. I'm like, I
They
can't
go.
have.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. They go after like the yeah. I feel like I just saw something from Topeka, because I'm in a Topeka page,
Curb Mirth.
and
Mirth
and
is from Topeka.
they stole someone's dog. Crystal
Yeah.
said, "I was gonna tell you to grab a taser, Beth. LOL. Who needs a taser when you've got like all of the quilting
Scissors and
supplies?
crap stuff.
Kick some ass. Come into my quilt studio. I'll turn my iron on. It'll be like Home Alone up in here. I'll just start rigging it everywhere, putting pins on the floor. See, I'm the perfect person because I'm problematic. I don't care if I cut myself. I already done it."
So
Well,
you're
I'll
gonna
let
think
you
I'm
go.
weird. Yeah.
Huh?
You're gonna think I'm weird.
Why is that?
Because this is my personal. This is my business.
Do you have a burner phone?
No. Because we tried the Google phone, and that drove me nuts because I'd be at school, wouldn't know who's calling, and you had to wait until Google tells you who's the person's name, accept or not. And
Yeah.
that was enough.
Well,
So,
Crystal said, but it wouldn't be good if it was hubby out there coming to talk to you and said, LOL, he'd be one sorry dude, LOL.
yeah, he would.
Ooh, funny story. So, one last story before we let you ladies go. So, my husband, so we have those like the automatic vacuum, like the Roomba or whatever. It's not the Roomba, it's like the off brand. But anyway, we had it upstairs one night and it got stuck. And it was like stuck under our fridge in the cabinet. And it was just like running into it. And Austin and I were up in our bedroom and we just heard like something going on. We're like, what the hell is that? And we thought there was an intruder. And so instead of grabbing our shotgun, Austin goes downstairs with 2 tennis balls, 2 of like those dog balls. And he's like armed. And I'm like, what the hell is that going to do? You're going to throw a tennis ball at someone? And he's like, well, it would distract them. I'm like, I am not calling on you when there's something bad going on. I will handle it myself. He looked ridiculous going downstairs with 2 tennis balls. Like, what the hell are you doing? I feel like more at risk now that you're going down there.
Did you already get
Did
that
you get that pink quilt
back?
done already? This is the moon medallion quilt. I finally washed it and I've been cuddling with it and it's softening up. I am working on the color wheel quilt. Did you see that tonight, Crystal? I'm halfway done. I was cutting out my templates for it today. I didn't do any sewing for the other half, but I don't care because I am in a good position. But did you see? Let's see. I don't feel like getting up yet.
This
So
is
I'll just
all
send.
I've gotten to.
Hey, it's something. Let's see. There's what I've got over there.
Awesome.
So
Looking good.
that's what I'm working on. This was the most recent one, and then I went straight into the color wheel quilt. So, Crystal, did you see it? Here, let me go grab it. It's literally right over there. Or this is the moon. I don't know which one you're talking about. This is the moon medallion quilt. And then the color wheel quilt, I'll show it back on my phone because it's just too big, and I think I'm too tired to get on the chair again. And it'd be the 3rd time I got
don't
on the
need
chair
you
tonight,
to get on the chair.
and I know I'd fall. You want me to get on the chair again or no?
No. No. No chair.
No chairs. So hopefully soon you guys will see that piece all together and I'll have it done. And then I have another test wall hanging to do. And I'll show you guys that too. I think tomorrow night, I'm gonna sew and watch your live, and I'll see you ladies tomorrow. I'm gonna go get my Pop-Tart before I have to give half of it to my baby. I'll just give her boobs. She'll be good. Oh, that looks so good.
I have more to go on it. And the
Would
quilt
you
I was
ever
holding
share the medallion quilt pattern? I will.
it's hers.
Crystal, it's not my pattern. Crystal, you're on Instagram, aren't you? You're on Instagram. I'll send you the link to it. It's my friend's pattern. I was just testing it for her. She just launched it the other day. So it's live. If any of you guys want to purchase that, just let me know. Just leave a comment on this video and I'll put the link in the description or something. So if you want to buy it from her, she has 3 versions, so you can either make the center medallion and it'd be like a baby, like a smaller quilt, and then you can do like the full quilt, and then she has a fat quarter version. So if you want to do that, nope, you're not on Instagram. Okay, so Crystal, when we get off of here, I will put the link in, or I'll find a way to message you, and I'll put the link so that you can buy the pattern if you want. I just can't share it because it's not my pattern. I was just testing it for a friend. I think I'm a
And she's gonna be
testing
testing for
junkie.
mine.
I just like to test stuff. It's so fun. But I'll see if I can find, let's see.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do the dinosaur one. I just don't want it in the small version though.
Yeah. You should do both. Do a small version and or like, because with paper piecing, you can blow it up. You can make it bigger. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to get you the link right now, actually, if you're interested. That way I'll put it in the chat. Or I can put it, I'll just save it too in case you're not I don't know if you're able to access the live chat comments after the fact. So I'm
You
gonna
should
copy
have it
this.
hit reply.
Okay, here we go.
Just let me see if I'm mine.
There you go. Crystal, there's the link to the pattern if you want to purchase it. It's a really good pattern. It's really good. I like it.
Before we log off to make sure.
Both of them I'm like scared to use.
I have mine set to replay. So let's check yours. Yep.
It is? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But I'm going to pull a copy of it because you know me.
You're prepared. Yeah, I'll do it too. Let's see if I can.
I just put it into a new tab.
Thank you. Let's see.
I just right-clicked it and then new tab.
All right. Well, we'll get off now. We'll let you guys get some sleep. You have a good day tomorrow in the library, Courtney. I'll see you later tomorrow evening on your live, and then Melissa, I'll see you in the afternoon. And I'll bug you in the comments. I like the comments. It's fun.
So the sucky part with this thing, I can't change. I have to change when I do my cell phone and my camera.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What? Oh, I see what you mean. I
have to attach this piece for my phone.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hate doing that. I have one for my iPad. Because I like to make sure I have it set up so I can be ready tomorrow. I do not plan on staying after school all day.
Well,
see, here's my iPad one.
Oh, wow.
It sits on the desktop. And then I have that pink one Which when I went live with Melissa,
Mm-hmm.
they were getting a lot of echo because the speakers were right on that.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use the Archon mount. I got it for like overhead videos and stuff for Instagram, but it works really well. It's got like an iPad and a phone thing. I can't find the camera mount because I would put my camera on there and do like tutorials for YouTube, but I don't know where the heck I put it. So it's probably somewhere. That's what I say for everything. It's probably somewhere because that's helpful
Yeah.
when you're trying to find something.
Yeah.
It's probably somewhere.
Yeah.
Well,
Just like
thank
I
you,
gotta go through all this room
everyone.
and clean up the whole
Well,
shop.
yeah, good night. Get some sleep. Love you guys.
We love you too.
And yeah, thanks for keeping me company while I did some stuff and then I just had fun chatting with you all. So I'll see you
Yeah.
guys tomorrow.
All right.
Bye. Have a
Bye.
good night, everyone. Stay safe.
Good night.
I'm bringing my rotary cutter to bed just in case. I'm just kidding. Bye.
Bye.